lost weight since I was here last. Look at this. Okay. I think
all right. Hey, what's up, good people? I'm QC. Welcome to another Talking and Grubbing live stream. And I'm here live streaming tonight for the Thursday night football matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. It's going to be a good classic AFC North matchup. You know, they're going to get it on at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. Steelers, they're 5-4, while the Browns are 3-6. The Steelers, they've been on a 3-game winning streak. You know, the Browns finally broke their 4-game losing streak Sunday against the Buffalo Bills, while the Steelers are coming off of a home win against the LA Rams. Seeing people coming into the live stream, you know, let me know, let me hear you, let me see your comments in the chat. What are your thoughts about tonight's game? Who do you think is going to win? You know, I hope this chat is working tonight, because during my dinner and Sunday night football live stream Sunday, there were some issues with the chat. You know, I saw the playback and I saw y'all comments in the chat, but I didn't see them while I was on live with y'all. So to all those who were in the chat for that live stream, I apologize. It wasn't my fault. You know, that was definitely a technical issue on YouTube's part. So come on in, you know, grab a chair, sit tight, and I want to know how y'all doing. How was y'all day? Also, if you want, you can donate to the channel via PayPal or Cash App. I'm about to post both places. Well, the Cash App, my Cash App cash tag, and my PayPal live stream.
It's going to be fun, Michael. We've got cold weather. It's November. It's the Browns and the Steelers. That's usually ingredients for
right. How you?
All right, thank you there, Joe. Always a great game when these two get together. And Joe and Troy, they aren't the only ones in Cleveland getting ready for Thursday night football. Let's go to Carissa Thompson, who's at the GMC tailgate. What's going on out there, Carissa?
Michael, don't be jealous of my assignment. I am at the GMC tailgate, the best gig on this pregame show. Look who I get to hang out with. Some of the best fans in the NFL. Everyone knows the Cheeseheads in Wisconsin. Everybody knows the Black Hole in Oakland. But how about the Dog Pound? Let me introduce you to some of my new friends. Cue that, Mr. Speaker. And let me introduce you to Macho Fan.
All right.
Trying to get him to come out of his shell.
Okay, so there's my Cash App cash tag and my PayPal link if you want to donate. I would, you know, you can donate to either one of those. Whatever you can, I would greatly appreciate it. You know, it helps me keep my channel going so I can continue to create more quality content for all of y'all, because I love doing this channel and love bringing this content to you all. Now, you know, the Steelers, they've definitely improved ever since they acquired Mika Fitzpatrick from the Miami Dolphins. And also Mason Rudolph has been pretty solid in Big Ben's absence. The Steelers, they're going back to, you know, they really hung their hat on defense thanks to a cat like Fitzpatrick, as well as the rookie Devin Bush, as well as former Brown Joe Hayden. He's been pretty solid. Excuse me. You know, now for the Browns, you know, Browns got a few defensive studs themselves. You know, Myles Garrett, he's top 5 in sacks. Joe Schobert, he's top 5 in tackles. Excuse me. You know. And also Olivier Vernon was starting to come along before he, you know, ended up being injured. And I'm about to check to see if he's going to be active for this game tonight. Okay, he's going to be ruled out tonight, as well as Eric Murray. They're both ruled out tonight. So those are the only injuries for the Browns tonight. Also, it was announced today that the Browns cut last year's pick wide receiver Antonio Callaway after he showed up late to Sunday's game against the Bills and was benched. So now with Antonio Callaway out, that's going to give more targets to Baker Mayfield's favorite target, Rashard Higgins, as the third wide receiver after OBJ and Jarvis Landry. But man, this game is going to be very exciting. I can't wait to see it. You know. So I want everybody to come on in. I want to see your thoughts here in the chat. You know, what's your keys to the game? Who do you think will win tonight's game? And yes, I am rocking with my Browns. I got my brown sweatshirt on, as y'all can see. You know. Okay, let me share this on. Just sharing with everybody on social media that I'm live.
Dangerous like skydiving out of an airplane, or dangerous like going undercover and dismantling a room of bad guys. Oh, dangerous like playing football without a helmet. No one plays football without a helmet. That is way too dangerous, Ella. Come on, Ella. This is true. You two were just talking about cool movie stuff from Charlie's Angels. All right, let's get back to Michael, Tony, and Terry. Folks let them have a show? Now that's dangerous.
Charlie's Angels open everywhere tomorrow.
All right. All right. See y'all join me here in this chat. Want to know how y'all doing? Who do y'all think is going to win tonight's game? Another key factor the main matchup I'm looking at is corner and wide receiver on both sides. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing the matchup with Minkah Fitzpatrick versus OBJ. Also, I'm looking forward to seeing the matchup between Denzel Ward and Juju Smith-Schuster. That's going to be a fun matchup. See who can, break each other's wheels. They may not contain, they're not going to contain the opposing first option wide receiver, but at least try to contain either one of them, and see if the other wide receivers can step up. That's definitely gonna be interesting to see. You know, you got young QBs and Mason Rudolph and Baker Mayfield. Also, want to see how Nick Chubb does against this Steeler defense. I think the running game is heavily going to be featured here tonight. Since it's cold in Cleveland, it's about a good 30-something degrees. So you know when it's an AFC North matchup in November, the game is definitely going to be run heavy.
Say, hey, this is number 13 and number 80. They're going to go out and they're going to beat this guy no matter what.
You know, going to be definitely run heavy. I don't see a lot of there's going to be some throwing in this game, but if there is, it's not going to be a bunch of long passes down the field. Definitely going to see a lot of, short passes. All right, y'all. Leave your comments here in the chats on this game tonight.
I don't know why. I think that's where I regret the beginning of the season not being as focused on the details. I was a little bit more laid back, with the on the field stuff. Just trying to build a relationship instead of saying, "Hey, this is what we're going to be about. This is how we're going to do it."
America fell in love with you so quickly. You're a rock star in the NFL. That happened so fast, and then it can all turn so quickly, as you've seen. I mean, what's that experience been like, too?
The roller
coaster of, you know, the NFL life. Is something you really try.
Yep.
You want to find the constant.
Just can't wait to see this AFC North matchup. But also another thing, the Browns have to convert once they reach near the end zone. They can't have another, you know, goal line drive like they did against Buffalo, where they were at the red zone. You know, they were at the red zone and they had about 8 tries that didn't convert or get any points. You know, so once they get to the red zone against the Steelers, they have to convert and turn that into points, be a touchdown or field goal.
TB, you got to say, I mean, this is a guy who seems like he has been humbled, and he's trying to navigate his way through the NFL by being a starting quarterback.
Yeah, well, if you play in this league, first thing you're going to learn is a little bit of humility. I was also a #1 pick coming out in 1970 after 6 touchdown passes, 24 interceptions, led the league. He broke the record last year for touchdown passes, was 27. I went down right off the bat. He went right up off the bat. It is so hard to stay on top, and his only lasted 1 year. He learned a good lesson. Keep your mouth shut. Everything you say, every act you have, people look at it and watch it, and they'll use it against you. I think humility serves us all well. And for your entire career, humility should serve you well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of like with him. Don't be so honest. Jerry is right. They love you. Look at you.
But that was good to hear Baker's take on that.
The Browns, they need to pound that rock. They got two Clydesdales back in that.
I agree. Definitely got to pound the ball to Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. That's another thing I'm anxious to see in this matchup. How are they going to use Chubb and Hunt in the 2-back set? You know,
Lamar was taking 31 picks after Baker Mayfield. They're going to face each other twice a year for many years. Fascinating duel between the two of them for years to come.
You know, the Pittsburgh Steelers, TJ Watt, Bud Dupree, they have 71 quarterback pressure that hits. How bad do they want to get to Baker Mayfield tonight? Oh, it's the Cleveland Browns, man. It's a division game. Pittsburgh has a chance now to sweep it going all the Ravens, and they win all of these out there wild card. They're in the.
Oh yeah, definitely gotta watch out for TJ Watt and Bud Dupree. Definitely gotta watch for you know, JJ Watt's brother. That dude has been a killer against the Browns these last couple of years when they met up. Definitely gotta watch out for him. And Bud Dupree as well.
Only his second year, he's going to figure this thing out. But that defense is going to be coming.
And they need to show that video of them hitting TB. That'll spark the guy that make them want to get to Baker Mayfield. How you doing? You okay? Okay. That's normal. That's normal. There you go. TV. Come on, man. Don't show people how you already cameras are off. Well, you know, guys, it is almost game time, all right? And you still have time to download the Fox Sports Super 6 app.
Yep. That's another thing. How will the Browns O-line hold up against cats like Watt, Dupree? You know, they love to get to the quarterback. They also love to get pressure on the quarterback. You know, the Steelers, they've had an excellent pass rush these last few games. This pass rush ain't no joke. So the Browns O-line got to be ready to protect Baker Mayfield, give him a clean pocket, and maybe, you know, give him room to run if necessary. You know, also they got to give Chubb and Kareem Hunt running room as well, because I think both of them are going to definitely be heavily counted on in this game. So, yep, the Browns definitely got to pound the rock against the Steelers here. You know, since it's cold weather, you know, this is the AFC North. AFC North is known for, you know, giving out punishment when division opponents see each other. So the Browns definitely got to punish the Steelers with the run to set up the pass. You know, they can't use the pass to set up the run. It's not going to work against this team. So, yeah, how's everybody doing? I want to see everybody's comments here in the chat. I want your thoughts on tonight's game. Who do you think will win this Thursday night matchup?
Only from Discover.
Hey guys, this is my friend Bear.
Unlimited data, Barry?
Ring number 1 in customer service by JD Power.
And also, the last couple of games, Baker Mayfield, who's led the league in interceptions, has not thrown an interception. So that's enough. So that's an interesting stat.
The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. Yeah, look good, feel good. Get the best out of here. All the same page, winners mentality. Win. So go and spread the news that we came for the chip. We ain't come here to lose. The champ is here. Check out the size
All right.
of the stadium.
All right, y'all. I want to see y'all here in the chat. I want to see your comments here in the chat. Want to know what y'all think about this game. You know who am I picking? I'm going with my Browns. I'm going with my Browns at home. Who do y'all have winning this game tonight? I want to see your thoughts. I want to see your thoughts and comments in the chat.
Close enough. Enjoy the game.
Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League. Welcome to Thursday Night Football, presented by Bud Light Platinum. Glad you're with us tonight on Fox.
All right, also, as y'all coming in, make sure you hit the like button. And if this is your first time here on Talking and Grubbing, welcome, but don't make it your last. Subscribe now. When you do, make sure you click on the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos or upcoming live streams from me.
But then right there and at the moment tied for a wild card spot are the Pittsburgh Steelers at 5-4. They've won 4 straight. People thought, Troy, the season was over and done with when Ben Roethlisberger went down in week 2. But with this winning streak, they're right there, and they're playing pretty well right now with Mason Rudolph at quarterback.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot of help, of course, with the way that the defense has played, but he's a young quarterback. I think he's coming off his best game probably on Sunday. He's settling in, starting to do some of the things that you would expect from a quarterback. But I think the key for him is their ability to run the football, and they get James Conner back, and that's going to be important tonight because they've had a hard time establishing that, and he hasn't gotten a lot of help on the outside with a lot of young receivers as well.
Well, the Cleveland Browns are coming in off a win of their own. They beat a good defense in the Buffalo Bills this last Sunday. They're taking on that good Pittsburgh Steelers defense. The run game is there. They've now added Kareem Hunt at running back to go along with.
And that's also another thing. Baker Mayfield has not thrown an interception in the last couple of games, last few games against some of the top pass defenses in the NFL. I'm sure he definitely wants to continue that tonight.
Kareem Hunt, the addition of him, got them going in that direction. I expect to see a little bit more of that. But these wide receivers and their abilities, they're a good matchup, no matter who it is they're facing. And they've got to be able to make some bigger plays down the field. Those have been hard to come by for this offense.
Let's go down to the field. Check on the Cleveland side first with Aaron Andrews.
Joe, Baker Mayfield called that win on Sunday against Buffalo a relief. He said for us to be able to get a win when we needed it the most, hopefully that gets us where we need to be. Where do they need to be? They want to make a run in the second half.
All right, y'all. I'm about to grub on some dinner. About to grub on some spaghetti.
Intensity. He said it's always a physical matchup. Keep in mind, their head coach Freddie Kitchens emphasizing to the team on such a short week.
This is
Please
good.
control your emotions. We know there will be a ton of energy and passion in this one. For more on the Steelers, let's send it over to Christina Payne. Well,
Man, I wish I had.
turns out the trade.
Man, I wish I had some Parmesan cheese to go with this.
The doctor ordered for the Steelers defense. He has a nose for the football, and it shows. Since the trade, he leads the league in interceptions, and the defense has led the league in takeaways since the deal. So who is this Minka Fitzmagic? Well, his teammates joke that the guy eats, breathes, and sleeps football. He lives in the film room, but Minka telling me it's just simple. He's playing free, he's playing with his instincts, and that's what allowed him to make plays. Joe?
Yeah, that trade caught everybody off guard. That they were dangling Minka Fitzpatrick out there, and it was the Steelers who had lost that week 2. Not only the ball game, but they lost Ben Roethlisberger. Why did they make that deal? Now it looks like a steal on a 34-degree night. A bit windy here in Cleveland. Cleveland won the toss. They defer. Steelers get the ball to start the night.
Okay, the Steelers are going to get the ball to start the first quarter. Browns won the toss. They decided to defer and decided to get the second half kickoff.
So we will see young Mason Rudolph, second-year pro out of Oklahoma State, and the Steelers offense to start the night.
All right, I'm seeing everybody join the live stream. Hit the like button. Also, what's your thoughts on this game?
Tony Brooks James from the 5. Can't make the 25. A 17-yard return. And here's Mason Rudolph. Saw you down there chatting with Mason Rudolph before this game, and they're starting to figure out what he can do, what he can't do, and he's starting to take more of a leadership role now as you see his overall record of 4-2 as a starter with the Steelers.
Yeah, I think he's getting more. He's just not wanted to give up on plays, and he's had to learn about pass rush.
All right, first down, Steelers at the 24-yard line.
Happy to have James Conner back on the Steelers, and a good play
Katie.
off the edge by Greedy Williams. A loss of one.
Okay, they feed it to James Conner, but Greedy Williams knocks him back for a 1-yard loss. Good anticipation by Greedy. Okay, second 11 Steelers.
Denzel Ward, last year's #1 pick. He'll stick his head in there and make a play too.
Okay, second 11. They give it to Conner again. And not much there. Gain of a yard.
Look at this offense and the numbers. 28th overall. It's not a good year. Steelers
Okay, 3rd and 10.
7 in yards per game over the past 5 years. But without Ben Roethlisberger, it's a different product. Schuster. To the top of the screen. Rudolph in trouble. Spins out. And then just throws it away.
Okay, Rudolph spins out of trouble. He didn't see anything, so he throws it away. So Sheldon Brown came with the pressure, forced Rudolph to be indecisive to throw it away. Now the Steelers have to punt. Good start by the Browns defense.
The rookie was locked up on him one-on-one. They had a chance, but with the pressure and the unblocked guy is Morgan Burnett. Rudolph did all he could, was just get rid of him.
Jordan Berry will punt it with Dontrell Hilliard waiting for Cleveland. Should end up with decent field position. Berry hits a good one. From the 25, Hilliard.
Okay, Hilliard gets the ball.
To the 35. 54-yard punt on this cold night, 10-yard return.
Okay, 50-yard punt, and Hilliard gets a 10-yard return. So the Browns, Baker Mayfield and the Browns offense start with solid field position. Let's see how they do against this Steelers defense, who have been pretty doggone good since they acquired Minka Fitzpatrick. Also, as I said earlier, you got to look out for T.J. Watt and Bud Dupree. Those guys are no joke.
I did some early shopping this year. One for you, one for me.
So I'm anxious to see what the Cleveland offense does in their first offensive possession. But that was good defense played by the Browns, you know, on the Steelers' offensive possession. You know, they quickly attacked James Conner because James Conner, that man, you know, is a bruiser. And if he gets to the outside, he could definitely burn you for some big yards. So the Browns defense were great at the point of attack of sniffing that out and stopping him to make sure he didn't gain any momentum for some big yards. Now, TC, my brother, what's going on, man? What's up? Thanks for joining me.
Find everything you need for the kids this holiday with low prices and free shipping on millions of items at Amazon.
If you're looking for the best place to pick up a pizza, might we recommend the place with pizza in the name? Call Pizza Hut
Yeah,
now.
get some more of this spaghetti.
Pizza for just $7.99. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
This Thursday night, Colts are coming to H-Town. Hold your horseshoes, buddy. You're in for a showdown. You guys can't stop Darius Leonard. Nobody can stop Darius Leonard. Aren't you a basketball state anyways? We're a state of multiple athletic talents.
Okay, that's the matchup next week between the Colts and the Texans. The AFC South matchup. That's going to be a good one.
Texans next Thursday at 8.
Yes, sir, TC. Go Browns. As they're about to get back on offense. Well, not get back. They're about to start on offense. And Adaney for the Steelers got injured on the special teams play against Hilliard. On the collision with Dontrell Hilliard. Okay? From 35, the Browns start.
Baker Mayfield spins, throws, and it gets batted down.
Baker Mayfield throws, it gets batted down, but Wyatt Tiller recovers the ball.
Knocked it into the air, and Tiller is there, loss of 5.
So it's a loss of 5.
Let's take a look at this. Yeah, Hayward, he knocks it loose.
Cam Hayward batted it down.
Teller's not really sure what the heck to do with it once he has the ball in his hand. There's a lot going on, those guys. There's a lot going on, yeah, but you get a ball near an offensive lineman, and you don't even think about knocking it.
You gonna throw? Make sure that the protection was good to throw.
Which is exactly what happened. They fake it here. Pass caught by Beckham.
Okay, the Baker throws a pass to Beckham,
A gain of 7.
and he gets a gain of 7.
Are not good for Baker Mayfield. The quarterback rating of 75.2. There's a completion percentage, 9 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. The numbers are all down from a year ago.
So it's 3rd and 8 for the Browns.
Good when they go to it. Nick Chubb, 919 rush yards, number 3 in the NFL. They're faced with 3rd and 8. Mayfield, time runs out to his right, downfield.
Wow. Baker Mayfield escapes trouble and gets it to Kareem Hunt for a big first down.
And a good catch on the back end of it. So here's Kareem Hunt. You're going to see he's the one who ultimately ends up with the ball, but he's trying to work this left side of the field.
Wow.
The Steelers lock up in man coverage, press at the line of scrimmage, just no separation.
That was a good move to avoid the sack.
He's certainly capable of doing, but that's one heck of a catch by Kareem.
That was one hell of a catch by Hunt.
Outstanding coverage overall. On first down,
Mayfield throws deep. Beckham, and it's a touchdown. Touchdown Browns. So the Browns strike first. And OBJ gets his first touchdown since the Monday night game against the Jets. And it's 6-0 Cleveland.
check and make sure that Beckham
Well, they have to review to make sure that all scores hold up.
What a good start. Well, it's just the speed, taking over. For Odell Beckham, it's just a straight post route. There's nothing real tricky.
That was a heck of a post route thrown. That was a heck of a bomb thrown by Baker.
The one in coverage, I think it came up. It looked to me like it came up a little bit short. Certainly, they're going to review.
Well, they're going to review it, but
they've had a hard time connecting those two. Last week, the first play of the game, they threw a 9 route up the side. Let's see
if the score will hold up, or will they just be at the 1 yard line?
Here's the end of the play.
Did he break the plane before he was down?
Crowd doesn't like it. Beckham looks to be short.
Yeah, he's about an inch short. They might call it back.
It's a scoring review.
They may call that back.
Either a touchdown, they're knocking on the door here early.
They may call. Yeah, it looks like that's gonna get called back.
You're on my TV. And I'm on both your TVs. And of course, moi, is on TV. Nobody cares. How are we all on TV?
This commercial with the Muppets is off the chain.
The thing on the TV is a portal TV, and it lets you video call on your TV. From Facebook.
That portal commercial with the Muppets is off the chain. They stupid. They are still stupid after all these years.
You're marrying her and her whole world.
But whether the touchdown holds up or not, this is a good offensive start by the Browns. They definitely need to get off to a quick start at home. Definitely need to get off to a quick start at home.
There's just something different to a Disney movie.
Verizon knows you love all things Disney.
I think we've watched every single movie at least twice, 4 times.
100 times.
That's why your unlimited plan.
Definitely got to get the crowd at first energy into it. Because I know there's definitely a good amount of Steelers fans up in the stadium.
From Disney's Frozen 2.
You want to keep those fans quiet.
It's like you've captured the entire kingdom of Arendelle and put them in your house. But not in like an easy
So
way.
this is a good starting drive by the Browns. And that was a heck of a catch. And that was a heck of a catch to OBJ, to Kareem Hunt.
The world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate available in the GMC Sierra. Step up to GMC and get over 11,000 total value on this next generation Sierra Crew Cab SLT.
Tonight on NFL Network, 14 touchdowns, 1 exclusive. Packers running back Aaron Jones, our special guest, tonight on NFL Total Access.
Based on this look, after the review, the officials have put the ball at the 1. Fantasy owners.
Okay, put the ball at the 1.
Odell Beckham Jr. won't be happy. It's not a touchdown, and instead of a 43-yard completion, it's 42 yards.
Man, I feel for OBJ on that one. He definitely deserved that touchdown. But he was just an inch short.
Mayfield's going to take it. And no signal. Now there is. Touchdown.
Mayfield does the quarterback sneak for the touchdown. It's 6-0. Man, I feel for OBJ on that one. He definitely should have had a touchdown, man. He was only a couple of steps faster. He would have got that touchdown. I feel for OBJ on that one. But great start by the Browns. This is how you definitely want to get off. This is the kind of start you want to get off to at home in front of your home crowd. You definitely want to get your crowd into it. And I'm hearing there's a lot of, Browns fans there in the stadium. So happy to hear that. But you definitely want to shut up those Steelers fans that are there. Because they're coming in from Pittsburgh, other parts of Ohio, and you got some folks in Cleveland that are Steelers fans, like my brother. But he's working tonight. So yeah. Good start, good offensive start by the Browns. And it's all thanks to Baker throwing that 20-yard bomb to Kareem Hunt as he got out of trouble to avoid the sack, and then followed it up with a 43-yard bomb to OBJ. Then he did the quarterback sneak and took it in himself. And the Browns lead 7-0.
The big play, the Odell Beckham Jr. 42-yard catch. Yeah, and Cleveland this year, they've had some good starts on their opening drive where they've moved the ball and done some good things. Now, can they continue with it? But I think Baker Mayfield has a little bit more to work with. I think they've got a little better direction of what they want to do.
Okay, the Browns kick it away.
And that was impressive both in this game.
Tony Brooks-James on the return to the 21, maybe the 22.
And the Steelers start at their 22-yard line for their second offensive possession. Okay, if y'all here in the live stream, tell me what do y'all think about that opening drive by the Browns?
And their defense.
And where y'all think Pittsburgh went wrong defensively?
Overall, 7th against the pass. And I think at some point here, as you look at the names, and they're obviously great with Myles Garrett at defensive end. He is tied for 3rd with his 10 sacks.
And another defensive player that probably don't get too much mention is the rookie Mac Wilson. He's been pretty solid so far this season, coming out of Alabama.
Mason Rudolph and the Steeler offense has to try to open things up to give some room for that ground game.
Okay, Mason Rudolph.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
And Mason Rudolph gets it to Juju Smith-Schuster for a first down
16 yards in a first
on a 16-yard pass.
That's a good place to start. Juju Smith-Schuster, he's certainly an accomplished guy.
And nobody was back there. And nobody was back there in the secondary.
And then once you get beyond him, they are really young and inexperienced at the wide receiver position.
Connor in the backfield, low snap.
Low snap.
Connor can't make the catch.
Wow. Tries to throw it to James Conner, but Conner couldn't come up with the catch.
Had 20 more catches than he has.
2nd and 10 Steelers.
A lot of that, the Antonio Brown factor. And Smith-Schuster was drafting in behind him, had a Pro Bowl year, had 111 catches, over 1,400 yards, 7 touchdowns, but they don't have the two guys on the outside, so Smith-Schuster gets all the attention.
Yeah, and they don't have Ben Roethlisberger. So
All right, 2nd and 10 Steelers.
So they're certainly in effect across the board.
Okay, with the snap, Mason Rudolph.
Pass is caught here by Vance McDonald.
Okay, pass is caught by the tight end, Vance McDonald. And Mac Wilson drives him back, but there's a flag on the play.
There's Ben.
There's Big Ben on the sidelines.
Holding offense.
And the Steelers are called for holding. So they got to replay 2nd down.
It's a two-time Pro Bowl
And
last
Ben Roethlisberger looking like he just came out straight out of the Appalachian Mountains.
There it is. That's Myles Garrett. That'd be a heck of a
Yeah,
matchup.
78 is holding Myles Garrett.
That's where they got Villanueva.
Villanueva was definitely holding Myles Garrett. Looked like he wanted to slow dance with him. Nah.
Hand off here to Samuels.
Okay, they hand it off to Samuels. He gets about
Greedy Williams forces him out after a gain of 8.
gets 8 yards.
GMC Professional Grade presented by GMC. Myles Garrett. And the year that he's having in sacks. He
Okay,
has
so it's
10
3rd and 12.
for 3rd.
Okay, Myles Garrett is tied for 3rd in sacks and 4th in tackles for a loss. Okay, 3rd and 12 for the Steelers.
This one downfield for Washington. Incomplete for the flag. And there are 2 separate.
Okay, they throw. Okay, Rudolph throws to Washington, but incomplete, and there are 2 flags on the play. Well, 4 flags. Wow.
near the Brown sideline. Well, they'll get together and sort through this. Interesting decision by Steve Wilkes, defensive coordinator. The Steelers were in 3rd and long, and they lock up and man across the board, press on the outside. There's a look at Steve Wilkes, the defensive coordinator. But you see the coverage with 3rd and long, and it's just one-on-one on the outside. Denzel Ward never really gets turned around and grabbed.
And they're both on the Browns defense.
Pass interference. Number 21. Ball in place at the spot of foul. First down, Pittsburgh.
So both on the two corners, hands to the face on Greedy Williams with pass
So it's on
Denzel Ward.
So it's on Greedy and Denzel Ward.
And that's obviously a big gain when you get pass interference on a play like that, 3rd and long.
So Pittsburgh is in the red zone now.
Washington, they were teammates at Oklahoma State. That was Mason Rudolph's guy, James Washington. And in studying Rudolph coming out of Oklahoma State, he did throw a nice deep ball. And he put it out there and gave him a chance, but the pass interference kept him from making the play.
And off to Connor over the left side. Spins and takes it down to the 26.
Okay, they hand it off to Connor, and he gets a few yards at the 26.
Attended Northwestern High School in Rockville, South Carolina. Went to Oklahoma State, the 2017 Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award winner. 3rd round pick by the Steelers a year ago, and so far this season 4-2.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
As a starter, 11 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
That's crazy. They called that pass interference. That was very little contact.
Here's Connor. He runs right into the arms of Sheldon Richardson.
Okay, they give it to Connor again, but he runs right into Sheldon Richardson and gives him a hug. So now it's 3rd and 3 Steelers.
He did not redshirt. He started playing at the very end of his freshman year, and then he was a 3-year starter. So a lot of these quarterbacks today, 1 year as a starter, maybe 2, not many, stay a full 4 years. And so he had a lot of game experience coming into the season.
Okay, 3rd and 3 for Pittsburgh. Browns with the pressure. It makes Rudolph throw an incomplete pass, so it's 4th and 3, and now they're bringing on the field goal kicker, Chris Boswell.
Yeah, well, Trey Edmonds, number 33, he's the one who gets the push right back into Mason Rudolph, and they're going to have a lot of opportunities. The Steelers are, for some of those one-on-one looks that we've already seen tonight, because of the style of play defensively by the Browns. They like to bring pressure. They blitz as much as anybody in football, and you get those one-on-one isolations.
Here's Boswell. Bobbled snap, and it's hooked.
And the kick is no good. Boswell misses a 44-yard field goal attempt. Wow.
But that was on this part. The exchange.
Yeah, it was bobbled by the long snapper.
And the steps off for Boswell, and it's still 7-0.
And it's wide left. So the pass interference call didn't affect anything as the Browns get the ball back on a missed field goal by Chris Boswell. Wow. And he's one of the best kickers in the league.
Our kind of joy feels different. This holiday, give the gift of Peloton.
So the Browns defense holds on. Hold serve, excuse me.
I love it. I got us a little something too.
Yeah?
Yep. One for you and one for me.
I love it.
Oh, actually, that was supposed to be for me.
I love it.
All right, so let's see what the Browns do on their next offensive possession as they try to extend their lead.
That's over 8,300 on this Acadia Denali. We are professional grade.
Okay, what are y'all thoughts on this game so far in the first quarter? I want to know in the chat. Let me know what you think. Yep, the Browns definitely got to put it together another good drive.
Let's go.
Be ready to talk some football? Is he the future of the sport? This guy is going to change the game.
Welcome back to First Energy Stadium and Thursday Night Football, presented by Bud Light Platinum. Aerial coverage brought to you by State Farm. Down below, Browns have it for the second time, up 7. 180.
Okay, Nick Chubb. They give Chubb the ball. Okay, Nick Chubb gets about 11 yards for a first down.
Steven Nelson is the number 19 offense, 13th running the football. We had some issues up front. They just signed J.C. Treader to a contract extension. They lost David Njoku. He broke his wrist, the tight end, week 2 against the Jets, and then they're loaded on the outside with Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry. They cut Antonio Callaway today, waived him. Here's a handoff to Chubb.
Okay, they hand off to Chubb again, but he's lost. But he takes a 1 yard loss. Looked like 2 yard loss for a second, but it's a 1 yard loss. So it's 2nd and 11.
As far as being optimistic, taking the ball away, sacks, whatever you want to look at. This is top 5 defense in the NFL, no doubt. And yeah, 12.
Okay, I don't have a problem with the Browns, giving it to Chubb. But also, they got to do some short passes as well. Let's see what they do here on 2nd and 11.
Mayfield spins, throws, and Beckham is brought down immediately by Steven Nelson. Good.
Baker gets it to OBJ, but Steve Nelson brings down Beckham ASAP.
First possession, no gain here. He likes covering this one a little bit more than that one deep down the field, but he does a great job of defeating the block and being aggressive with that quick screen pass to Beckham. Third catch for Beckham, who is still sitting on 1 touchdown catch on the year. 26. Came close. First time they
Okay, 3rd and 11 for the Browns. K drops it off to Kareem Hunt as Kareem Hunt breaks some tackles. And he falls down, but where do they put him? Does he have the first down? Looks like he does. It looks like he made it, but they might mark him short. Let's see.
He's just not able to make the play. Initially, I thought that Pittsburgh did a nice job with the disguise and got Mayfield a little bit confused. But right there, Barron comes up. He's just not able to make the tackle. If he does, then it's certainly 4th down. But just great individual effort there by Kareem Hunt.
Okay, they about to bring out the chains.
I think of this short, there's no question he's going for it here.
Okay, they measure it, and it is first down Browns. Right by the nose of the football. First down Browns.
Kansas City 2 years ago, over 1,300 yards. And last week, or a few days ago on Sunday, when Chubb and Hunt were in the backfield together, it presented Buffalo with quite a few problems. Yeah, it sure did. And as has been talked about for the last 4 days, he did a lot of blocking in that game.
That was a heck of a catch by Kareem Hunt. Two great catches so far in this game. All right, my internet TV's acting up. Okay, it's 3rd and 7 for the Browns at the 43. As Baker's pass to Kareem Hunt only gets some 3 yards.
incomplete to Darryl Hodge. Pressured by Vince Williams.
Okay, Mayfield throws an incomplete pass.
Down 7.
So the Browns have to punt.
Looks like T.J. Watt
And
is banged up.
TJ Watt looks a little banged up on the field.
Yeah, well, it's three-man rush. And because of the pressure by T.J. Watt, he's the one who's able to disrupt.
Okay. The rookie Jamie Gillian punts. There's no turn, so there's a touchback. And the Steelers will start their own 20. All right, so what's y'all thoughts on this game so far? Let me know in the chat. You know, my take on this game so far, you know, both teams are trying to establish the run to set up the pass. You know, the Browns, they've been a little more solid. They've been a little more solid, you know, using the two-back system with Chubb and Kareem Hunt so far, while the Steelers, you know, they can barely get it going with James Conner as they're trying to open things up. So we're going to see what the Steelers do on their offensive possession here late in the first quarter. Okay, Steelers on their first offensive possession. Got it honored for about 6, and then Rudolph passes to James Washington for an 8-yard gain. So it's first down, Steelers at the 34-yard line. Right, first down, Steelers. Okay, Rudolph passes to Juju Smith-Schuster for 5 yards. So it's 2nd and 5, Pittsburgh at the 39-yard line. Okay, Mason Rudolph passes to Deontay Johnson for a 4-yard game. It's 3rd and 1. Okay, Mason Rudolph throws an incomplete pass intended for Juju Smith-Schuster. It's 4th and 1, so the Steelers will have to punt. Wow. That was a bad offensive possession by the Steelers. Okay, Jordan Berry punted. Dontrell Hilliard returned it for 5 yards. So the Browns will start at their own 23-yard line. Browns defense has been pretty solid so far to start this game. They got to shore up on their quarterback pressure, because on some possessions, on the Steelers' offensive possession, Mason Rudolph had some time, to throw a few times. So got to shore that up. Definitely got to get some pressure on that young dude. Okay, Chubb rushed it to the left for a 6-yard gain. He was tackled by Bud Dupree. So it's 2nd and 4. Baker throws an incomplete pass intended for Kareem Hunt. Now it's 3rd and 4. Should have went back to Chubb on that possession. He may have had a good chance at getting 4 or 5 yards. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Think they should have went back to Chubb on that second down play. But it's 3rd and 4, Browns at the 29. And Baker throws an incomplete pass intended for OBJ, so the Browns have to punt. Stop trying to do all the bubble screens on every possession. You got to know when to do those bubble screens. You can't do them on every possession. Some possessions it work, but you got to know when to limit them. You don't have to do a bubble screen on every play. So the Steelers will get the ball back with 44 seconds left in the first quarter. Definitely shouldn't have went for the bubble screen on two downs in a row. You got to know when to do that. Don't do that on every play. Because if you constantly keep on doing it, it makes your offense look predictable. Okay. Jamie Gillian punts, and Deontay Johnson only gets 9 yards on the return. So the Steelers will have it at their own 22-yard line. Sweating under these lights.
The mission continues. A nonprofit organization employing military veterans. Build stronger communities across the nation. Visit missioncontinues.org to learn more. Deontay Johnson, by the way, was a bit shaken up.
Okay, Steelers ran a play. They only got 3 yards to end the first quarter. So after one, it's 7-0 Browns.
Holding up
But
right now on that side of the ball. We've seen one big play through one quarter. In a 7-0 game, it was the 42
But the Steelers will have the ball, and it'll be 2nd and 7 starting the second quarter. Okay, what's my thoughts on the first quarter? Mr. Narwhal, how you doing, man? Yes, you did. You did tell me that the Nats will win, that the Nats will win the World Series. Hey, your prediction was right, man. I gotta salute you for that. You were right. But Mr. Narwhal, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining me. What do you think about this game so far? You know, both defenses, well, okay, Mr. Narwhal, you said the game it's been okay so far. The game's okay so far. You know, both defenses have held serve so far. I mean, the Browns, they've had a few chances on offense, but they need to stop running those bubble screens so much. You know, it's okay to run them every now and then. You got to know when to run them. You can't run them on every play, because the more you do that, it makes your offense look predictable. So they got to limit, how many times, Freddie Kitchens has to limit how many times they're going to run the bubble screens. Because it looks like, some drive should have kept going if they wouldn't have ran that, in my opinion. For the Browns, they're trying their best to get it to Chubb. So at least they're trying to establish the run game and go to him as often as they can. They've done a pretty solid job of running the 2-back set between him and Hunt so far. Kareem Hunt has had some hell of a catches so far in this game. Now for the Steelers, it's like their offense is like sort of tight. Was sort of tight in that first quarter. It's like they didn't really want to open the playbook. It's like they just want to be conservative, in my opinion. But the defense is keeping them in this game. Okay, 2nd and 7 for the Steelers. Rudolph gets out of trouble. And the flag is thrown as the pass is incomplete. Will it be? And there was pressure by Garrett. Okay, they got the Steelers for holding. So it's going to be 2nd and 17. Yeah, I thought that flag was thrown on the Steelers side.
That's impressive. This guy's got a speed rush as good as any, but that's what.
Oh yeah, Villanueva was definitely holding Miles. He is holding Miles like it ain't nothing.
Second and 17. McDonald makes the catch up near the 20.
Okay, McDonald makes the catch up to the 20. So it's a gain of 5, so it's going to be 3rd and 12.
No, they haven't, and that's just another week when you're talking about the Steelers. I mean, they haven't done a whole lot, really.
For the Steelers.
You know, this season with Mason Rudolph, they just had to rely more on their defense. You know, what they haven't done, which has allowed them to win the last 4 games, is they haven't made the big critical mistakes of turning the ball over. 3rd and long, smart with the football, a punt is obviously not a bad thing when the defense has played the way they have this year. Rudolph fires deep downfield. It's broken up.
Okay, Rudolph fires a bomb downfield, and the pass is broken up by Morgan Burnett, the former Pittsburgh Steeler.
Just 3 first downs in 4 possessions for Pittsburgh. Well, Johnny Holden, he does a great job. He's able to get past Morgan Burnett, and I thought Rudolph did a heck of a job. Now
that pass was intended for Holden,
giving him a chance. And then Holden,
but also that was good. That was good anticipation by Morgan Burnett.
Rather than catching the ball at its highest point. There's a missed opportunity for the Steelers. During this 4-game win streak, the Steelers have just 6 offensive touchdowns. That's called writing your defense. Yeah. 57-yard punt here by Jordan Berry.
Okay, Dontrell Hilliard with the fair catch. Looks like the Browns will start at the 23-yard line.
He could do it all over at the beginning of the season. What would he do? And he talked about the communication on and off the field, and he said it starts.
Okay, here comes Baker Mayfield and the Browns offense back on the field.
With me yesterday, he said for him, he looked at when he started this season, he goes, I have Odell Beckham, I have.
All right, y'all. I see y'all joining here in the live stream. Make sure you hit the like button. For all my loyal subs that join me, thank you for coming. If this is your first time, welcome, but don't make it your last time. Subscribe to the channel. When you do, click on the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos or upcoming live streams. As they feed the Chubb, but he gets stopped for no gain, so it's 2nd and 10.
And everybody knows who Baker Mayfield is, but he's still a young guy, and could he lead the way he wanted to lead? And he kind of admitted that he wasn't vocal enough early on this year. I thought he was great when we talked to him the other day. I thought he made himself very vulnerable. I think he was honest and says that he needs to be better. And hey, he says he's going to lead the way he knows how, and I think that's a step in the right direction for this team. Here's a good move downfield. Pass is caught by Hodge.
Wow.
Still going. Down inside the 20.
Baker avoids the sack, and he throws a bomb down to Hodge.
Baker Mayfield just to launch that.
Wow.
59-yard completion.
For a 59-yard completion.
Excellent job. You see Mayfield, he puts his foot in the ground.
Wow, Baker lose the sack.
And then he gives Hodge a chance down.
That was a crafty move by Baker.
Mayfield just drops this right out of the sky.
And Hodge was still trying to get to that end zone.
Today. And he was basically their third receiver, a guy they couldn't rely on. They're waiting for someone to step up into that role. Hodge hasn't had a lot of catches this year, but he makes a big one on that play.
Okay, there's a whistle. Oh, there's a challenge flag thrown by Mike Tomlin.
Maybe seeing if Hodge was touched.
Oh, they're trying to figure out where the ball should be spotted.
We'll find out.
Hello, neighbor. So nice to meet you.
Okay, so now they're gonna find out where Hodges, where the ball is spotted. And why the hell is Mike Tomlin wasting a challenge on that?
We fed beef lovers a Whopper with no beef. You can't imitate.
That's a dumb challenge. You gonna waste a challenge on that? Come on, Mike Tomlin.
Try the
You're better than that. Come on, bro.
0% beef. Only at
Why would you waste a challenge on that?
Leave no man behind.
Now, I can see if you putting a challenge out on a completed pass,
For their new friend.
but you're gonna place a challenge on where the ball is spotted. Really?
Giant dad. Or a horse. Or a horse's brother, for that matter. The room for 8 9,000-pound towing Ford Expedition.
Oh, we need green beans. Oh, this is cool. All right, we got this one.
But I definitely hope they get Rashard Higgins in the game. He deserves to play.
Corona Hotline.
Hey, Tony, every time I leave the room, my team starts playing better.
Superstitious, huh?
No,
For a good game, the only game day ritual you need is
nachos for breakfast.
limes and Coronas.
Yeah, I like that better.
Yeah, you do. Call now to find your game day beach.
There are 3 words that mean everything when you live with migraine. I am here. Aim to say that more with Aimovig, a preventive treatment for migraine in adults that reduces the number of monthly migraine days. For some, that number can be cut in half or more. Don't take Aimovig if you're allergic to it. Allergic reactions like rash or swelling can happen hours to days after use. Common side effects include injection site reactions and constipation.
Okay, gotta wait to see
There are more. Talk to your doctor about Aimovig.
what the call is coming back from the commercial.
Find everything you need to get together this holiday with low prices and free shipping on millions of items at Amazon.
Welcome back to Thursday Night Football, presented by Bud Light Platinum.
Kayla,
Well, you saw the challenge flag come out. The challenge worked. It says 18 yards.
wow. So Tomlin wins the challenge.
You'll see Hodge.
So his yard. So they knocked 18 yards off of the Hodge cat. So it's 41 yards instead of 59. He was touched, but still, I don't think Tomlin should have do the challenge flag on that. So let's see what the Browns do here on this first down. Wow. Remarkable.
First down at the 36. Chubb takes it.
Okay, they give it to Chubb. Chubb gets about 2 or 3 yards.
During that review, Mike Tomlin brought his defense over Christina and tried to fire him up.
Yeah, that's the second time this game that Mike Tomlin's gone over.
Okay, 2nd and 8, Browns.
Play aggressive to settle down. You kind of get the sense that this defense knows that it's kind of on them because this offense has been so stagnant, and they welcome the pressure, but they also want to come out here and perform well tonight.
Both backs are in there.
Okay, both running backs are in the game. Okay, the pass is caught to Jarvis Landry. It's 1st and goal, Browns.
They put Jarvis Landry in the slot. See the 2 deep coverage. There's the hole. And he's going to get into the middle of it. And that's what you're looking for.
Yep, Landry ran right in the middle of that hole. That was a big hole.
Jarvis Landry is.
Because the Steelers' defense, their secondary is a step slow. They're playing the run. Okay, so 1st and goal for the Browns. Okay, they try to give it to Chubb. And Chubb gets stuffed and body slammed. Because they know how much of a threat he is. Because Chubb is a punishing runner. I like Chubb. He's an old school running back. He's cut from the old school. He's an old school downhill runner. As a 2nd and goal for the Browns. Trying to add to the lead. Okay, they hand it off to Chubb once again. And he gets a few yards. Okay, so gain of 3 is 3rd and goal.
Situations not kind to this Cleveland offense last week, as we showed you.
They're goal to goal here with the ball sitting at the 7.
Well, remember on Sunday, Freddie Kitchens on 4th and 4 from the 4-yard line was going to go for it, and thankfully there was a false start that then he settled for.
Okay, James Conner has been taken to the locker room for a shoulder injury.
Here if it gets to 4th down.
There's a 3-point win in Buffalo. Here's Mayfield to the end zone.
Okay, they throw to the end zone, and there's a flag on the play, and it's going to be pass interference on Joe Hayden. Our old friend, Joe Hayden. Yeah, Joe. Yeah, Joe. You turned Hodges around, bruh. You turned Hodges around, homie.
Waiting for someone to be able to step up opposite those two talented receivers in Landry and Odell Beckham, but Hodge looks to be the guy tonight.
Hayden, former 7th overall pick in 2010 by Cleveland.
Wow, wide open to Jarvis Landry. A touchdown, but, well, will it be a touchdown? There's a flag on the play.
A total bust in coverage, but illegal use of hands to the face, defense.
Okay, the touchdown counts as the Pittsburgh Steelers are called for illegal hands to the face. So it's 14-0 Browns.
Right in here, Joe. Actually, right here in the middle. You see that P.C. Treader, the center.
Wow, there was nobody from the Steelers in that backfield. Almost anybody could have scored that touchdown. Because they were wide, because that end zone was wide open. Open like Lake Erie. Okay, 14-0 Browns. Okay, so now Baker Mayfield has 2 TDs. 1 rushing, 1 passing.
Good half so far for the Browns. Up 2 scores.
To be a great explorer, you need to be ready for everything and anything. You need intelligent 4-wheel drive.
That was a pretty good offensive drive by the Browns.
The most available driver assist technology of any vehicle in its class. You need enough cargo space for any adventure. But to be the greatest exploration vehicle of all time, you need all those things inside this thing.
And Baker has Baker, you know, the offensive line has done a pretty solid job so far protecting Baker. You know, they've given him a clean pocket for him to move around in the pocket like he can, like he definitely can. You know, he's eluded some sacks. You know, to plant his foot, to, you know, throw it down the field to open receivers.
This is Capital One. We're banking moves at the speed of right now. You can open a new savings.
You know, they try. I mean,
and earn 5 times the national average. From here,
once again, they did a pretty good job running the 2-back set, and now the Browns have a 14-0 lead. The Steelers' defense so far has been getting, you know, burnt because they're a step slow because they're playing the run instead of the pass.
Is one of the best movies of the year. You think one of us killed him? It's an ingeniously creative murder mystery. I have eliminated no suspects.
You know something. Spill it.
And hugely satisfying with a modern twist.
No, stay there.
Oh my God.
We got to do this more often.
Knives Out.
This Thursday night, Colts are coming to A-Town.
All right, so let me know what are y'all thoughts on that drive. Leave them here in the chat.
Texas.
And if y'all did, and also, you know, if y'all just didn't hear me, James Conner, the Steelers running back, has been taken out of the game to be looked at for a shoulder injury. No, his return to the game is questionable right now.
Great battles over the years. The Browns no wins against Pittsburgh since October 12th, 2014. Happened here 31-10. There's that last scoring drive. The Browns came back into the NFL. Franchise back in Cleveland.
Okay, now the Browns kick it off.
Against Pittsburgh. Christina?
Well, Joe, the shoulder injury that kept James Conner out of the last two games has flared up. He's back in the
Okay, and the Steelers take a touchback. Well, just kneels down.
100% coming into tonight's game, said he was dealing with some pain, and he's getting it looked at now. Not sure about the return.
Well, Christina and Troy and Aaron, that's the last thing the Steelers need. The first thing they need is for something to click downfield because there's just been nothing.
Okay, 1st and 10 for the Steelers at the 24-yard line. Wow. Mason throws it, and it goes right through the hands of Smith-Schuster. Wow. He had a bunny.
The young quarterback beat them, and they've not really had an answer so far. I will say this is not uncharted territory, though, for Mason Rudolph and the Steelers. They trailed the Dolphins a few weeks back, 14 points. Late in the second quarter, were able to rally and come from behind and win that one. But that was at home in Pittsburgh.
Okay, the Steelers get it to Samuel, and he gets about a good 6 yards. So it'll be 3rd and 4.
Join Chris Collinsworth, Bill Belichick, and Rich Eisen for a 6-week journey revealing the NFL 100 all-time team. Premieres November 22nd at 8. Only on NFL Network. 3rd down and 4.
Okay, 3rd and 4 for Pittsburgh.
He's gone 0 for 4 on 3rd down so far in the game.
Okay, Browns with the pressure.
Pass is caught and now dropped. Lost.
Wow.
Flag is down back in the backfield.
Juju had the pass, but he dropped it, and there's a flag in the backfield.
That's an easy call and a good call against Chad Thomas.
And they get Chad Thomas for roughing the passer.
They're checking on Smith.
But Juju Smith-Schuster is down. But the Steelers are rewarded with an automatic 1st down.
Do you think you can keep these khakis wrinkle-free all season?
You'll be ready for Saturday, Coach Harbaugh.
As there was not 1, not 2, but 3 helmets on Mason Rudolph, and they only flagged 1.
I have never met a Mandalorian. I've only read his story. Reputation was not unwarranted. The Mandalorian now streaming on Disney Plus.
Wow. So the Steelers get an automatic 1st down off of the roughing the passer.
There's only one other place they could be.
Where are the Bud Light Platinums?
Oh, you're looking for the party turret. This here is the Stern is the Void turret. Completely different turrets.
And to me, I don't think it was anything malicious on Rudolph. I think, your momentum the Thomas's momentum just carried him and he ended up running into Rudolph. And for those of you who think this, no, I'm not being a Browns homer here. I'm just saying. I don't think it didn't look anything intentional. That looked more like an accident.
Introducing T-Mobile 600 megahertz signal. No signal reaches farther or is more reliable, and it's built 5G ready.
It's perfect. Unwrap more cozy this holiday with a faux mink to Sherpa comforter. Plus $21.99 sweaters for her. JCPenney.
The season is here.
And it's time for our best offer of the year during the Ford Black Friday event. Now, for a limited time, get 20% estimated savings on select 2019 Ford models, plus earn complimentary maintenance through Ford Pass Rewards. The Ford Black Friday event ends soon, so hurry in today. Now get 20% estimated
So I
savings.
definitely hope Juju Smith-Schuster is all right. Hope it's nothing serious. I hope nothing is serious. I hope it's nothing serious.
Smith-Schuster being walked off.
Okay, 1st and 10 at the 45.
Rudolph steps up, drops it off, pass caught by Edmonds.
Wow, even with pressure on him, Rudolph finds a way to get it off to, excuse me, to Edmonds.
By Chad Thomas, then 3 players came together on Juju Smith-Schuster, and maybe the most violent hit was Burnett. Brady Williams came up and said something to Mike Tomlin when Smith-Schuster was getting checked.
Okay, 2nd and 2 for Pittsburgh.
Second down and 2. Handoff here to Edmonds.
Okay, another handoff to Edmonds. He gets about a yard or 2, but there's a flag on the play.
Tackle, a late flag. Boy, really?
A real late flag.
The offensive coordinator, Randy Fichtner, he's really got his work cut out for him right now. You lose James Conner. Of course, you've been without him a couple of weeks, but you lose him early in the game, and now you're without your number 1 wide receiver.
Okay, what's the flag?
Illegal formation.
Okay, they get the Steelers for illegal formation. So they have to replay 2nd down. As they get hit with a 5-yard penalty for illegal formation.
As an extra offensive lineman, it was covered up in that formation, so that moves the ball back 5. We've seen a lot of Zach Banner in this game. No team employs 6 offensive linemen more than the Pittsburgh Steelers. And at 360 pounds.
Okay, so 2nd and 8 for the Steelers.
As a result, pass high but caught.
Okay, the pass is high.
3rd down and a yard coming up.
But Vinette catches it for about a good 7.
You have to go more to tight end personnel. Here comes Zach Banner, number 72 now. He's been running off and on the field throughout this ball game. You know, they run play action off of it still and all of the things that they can do with that, but obviously it's a heavy.
Okay, 3rd and 1 for the Steelers.
On 3rd and 4. And he's in, but they bring him in on all downs. The throw on 3rd and 1 last time they were faced with it. Fell incomplete. And maybe that's
wow, that was blown up.
Edmonds in the backfield. What a play.
As Edmonds tried to rush it, Morgan Burnett got there to stop him. So it's 4th down. So if you're the Steelers, do you go for it or do you punt? That was a heck of a job by Burnett to blow that up. Okay, they're going to go for it on 4th and 2. Okay. Wow. Hell of a pressure by Larry Ogunjobi. Mason Rudolph still manages to get rid of it, but incomplete pass, and the Steelers turn it over on downs. The Browns take over with some nice field position.
Foster doesn't turn down like you would expect based on what everyone else was doing. And then
that was a great 4th down stance by the Browns defense. Definitely got to give some props to defensive coordinator Steve Wilkes for dialing up that play.
2 3rd and 1s, 1 3rd and 3, and a 4th and 2 now. 26. Browns ball at their own 46.
Okay, Browns are at the 46, trying to add to this lead. Okay, the play clock at 5, 4, 3. Okay, the pass was incomplete to Nick Chubb.
Stay tuned for the 2-minute warning for a special look at Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan from Amazon Prime Video. Now let's take a look at tonight's Unstoppable Hero presented by Jack Ryan. Minka Fitzpatrick traded for after week 2.
Yeah, definitely. Browns have definitely done a good job of containing him so far in this game. Definitely cannot have him be a factor here tonight. Okay, incomplete to OBJ. So it's 3rd and 10.
Nelson and Beckham have seen a lot of each other in this first half. Well, the takeaways that this defense has been able to create, they've had 3 or more takeaways just in the last 5 games. They're second in the NFL coming in with 26, and this would be a great time to come up with one. And you know, Mayfield certainly is aware of the ball hawking ability of Minka Fitzpatrick, already with 5 interceptions since coming over from Miami.
Hey, we're there. Go to the 90. We got to put him down.
Timeout taken by Cleveland.
Okay, the Browns take a timeout.
In this 14-0 game, and a 3rd down and 10.
As the Browns are faced with a 3rd and 10.
And after the timeout, we'll welcome you back inside our broadcast booth. Everybody, I'm Joe Buck along with the Hall of Famer Troy Aikman. And you look at these 2 quarterbacks, we're seeing Baker Mayfield able to extend plays, move around in the pocket, get out of the pocket, find guys downfield. So far, that has not happened for Mason Rudolph.
Well, no, it hasn't. I mean, they've struggled, and it's going to become even harder now when you're talking about without James Conner and then without Juju Smith-Schuster and the offensive line. They've got to pick it up. I know that this team is built around this defense. The defense needs to come up with a play and turn the tide.
Okay, 3rd and 10. Mayfield throws. Caught. Landry catches it, but he's short of the first. Yeah, he got 6 yards, but it's 4th down.
And the punt team comes on.
And the Browns will punt.
Out there for a little while, but not with the way their defense is playing. You can't take that risk up 14.
I agree. This first half has gone.
The Browns thought about going for it on 4th down, but decided to bring the punt team, which is a good move, you know, because the defense has played well so far in this half.
They can come up with a takeaway of their own. At least give the offense another opportunity.
Okay. Jamie Gillen, the rookie, will punt. And Deontay Johnson will receive the punt. Touch back in the end zone.
Look for that front left corner, but it finds the end zone.
Wow.
A net of just 28 yards.
Just can't. Browns came this close to fielding it, but there's a flag on the play.
No, I see flag is down, but I don't see the flag.
Kicking team number 47. A 10-yard penalty will be added to the end.
So they get the Browns for holding.
Pittsburgh. So there you go. Hold right there in the middle. And that will move the ball up to the 30.
So the Steelers start at the 30.
Well, it gives them a little bit more room to operate. And, you know, now this is what it looked like the last couple of weeks. Jalen Samuels, you know, he becomes the guy that they start relying on, and he's primarily a 3rd down back. I mean, that's what they drafted him for, but now he's having to carry the load once again tonight.
Here he is, and he is dropped.
Wow, Samuels. They try to screen pass for Samuel, but the play is blown up.
A loss
The ball came out, but it was after the whistle was blown, and the Steelers and it's a loss to 7 yards for the Steelers. And Joe Schobert with a hell of a tackle. Okay, 2nd and 17 for Pittsburgh.
Pereira's indicating that was an incomplete pass. Instead, maybe it in the end won't matter as the pass is complete to Tevin Jones.
Okay,
Just came up from the practice.
The pass is complete to Tevin Jones.
Jones is inches short of a first down.
And they're inches short of a first down.
Ryan Switzer's been put on IR, dealing with a bad back. Roosevelt Nix with a knee injury. Lost James Conner tonight. Shoulders flared up again. 3rd down and 1. And Rudolph will take it and get it.
And Rudolph takes it for the first down.
So first down for Pittsburgh.
Okay, the Steelers with a first down.
Just short of their own 41.
At the 41-yard line. All right, let's see what happens here. Can the Browns get a turnover? Let's see. Okay, Mason Rudolph with time, throws in the air, and it bounced and it's picked off by Morgan Burnett, the ex-Pittsburgh Steeler, and he's running, and he's forced out at the 30-yard line. That was a big play by Morgan Burnett. Morgan Burnett is having a pretty nice game here tonight against his former team. He has come up big in this game. So that definitely gives the Browns some pretty good field position. Okay, Denzel Ward with the batted ball, and then Morgan Burnett came up with the interception. That was a big play by the Browns defense. Good job by Denzel Ward deflecting it, and Morgan Burnett gets the interception. So now let's see what the Browns offense can do, try to extend the lead. The Browns definitely has to go back to the run game. At least get a field goal out of this. If you can't get another touchdown, at least get a field goal. Okay, Mayfield flushes out to the right. He throws, but the pass is incomplete to Landry.
So accustomed to talking about the Steelers and all that they've been able to do creating takeaways. The defense for Cleveland comes up big and sets up this offense in a really nice position here with 3.5 minutes to play and in scoring position already. And they also get the ball to start the second half. Hey, we're going to go 26, Rico, 26.
Okay, they feed it to Chubb on the left side. He gets about 3 yards. So it's 3rd down. 3rd and 7.
I know Pittsburgh's shorthanded on offense. Young quarterback and a lot of things working against them, but Cleveland defensively, they haven't been great, but they've got some talent. And that defensive front probably has underachieved up to this point overall as a group. But they've won the line of scrimmage in this half. Mayfield throws. There was contact maybe early.
Wow. There's a throw. Baker throws, and there's no pass interference call.
Yeah, Steven Nelson, he was in a position on this. I thought he had a great shot at intercepting this pass. You know, he had the angle. Landry's able to get his left hand in there. Otherwise, I think even Nelson thought he was going to run through that ball and make the pick. That's a dangerous throw when you're running.
Okay, now Austin Seibert is on to try field goal, 45-yard attempt. Kick is up and it's wide right. And it's wide right.
45-yard try is missed by Seibert. Steelers about to go back on offense, and let's get an update on Juju Smith-Schuster. Christina, what do you know?
Well, he has officially been ruled out with a concussion. We remember that hit that he took a few.
Okay, James Conner is out for the rest of the game due to a shoulder injury.
Now devoid of weapons. Juju Smith-Schuster out. James Conner
and Juju Smith-Schuster.
Shoulder injury, so they've got to make something happen, Joe.
So the job gets even tougher for Mason Rudolph.
Wow, unbelievable. James Conner and Juju Smith-Schuster out of the game, out for the rest of the game. As Mason Rudolph gives it to Samuels, and he gets about, excuse me, about 4 or 5 yards. And that was Austin Seibert's first missed field goal. Excuse me, Samuel gets 2 yards. It's 2nd and 8 Pittsburgh.
Could be a very significant miss. I mean, you have an opportunity. You're up 14 points already. To be able to put 3 more up on the board. We're at the 2-minute warning.
Okay, now at the 2-minute warning.
14, and now a special look at Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan from Amazon Prime Video.
Yeah, Freddie needs to definitely get the run involved more. Definitely do not go away from the run. Definitely want to keep emphasis on the run game. Especially up 14-0. Try to run the ball. Definitely try to focus more on the run game. Yep, definitely. Yep, the Browns definitely went. Well, Freddie Kitchens has definitely gone away from the run a little bit too much here in this second quarter. Yep, I know Baker's having a pretty good game so far, but you can't get too pass happy. Just like in basketball, you can't get too 3-point happy. You can't get too pass happy here in football. So in the second half, the Browns definitely, well, Freddie Kitchens definitely needs to focus on the run a little bit more.
Territory.
Okay, McDonald catches pass from Rudolph, and now the Steelers are into Browns territory.
Possession game. That's right. And the Steelers still have all 3 timeouts. It was a good job, and I think they've got to get Vance McDonald involved like that. Get the ball out of Rudolph's hands quick. Here's another one caught backing out of bounds. It's Deontay Johnson, another first down, a 22-yarder to McDonald.
Okay, Deontay Johnson catches a 22-yard pass.
Steelers tight ends
Jesse James. Players injured, and it's Burnett along the sideline. But last year, the Steelers tight ends combined for 80 catches, over 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns.
There's a player down.
Guys, and that production has really dropped off here in 2019. And Burnett.
And that's Morgan Burnett. That's injured.
Well, this secondary for the Cleveland Browns, it has really taken a hit this year. They were without their 2 top corners, and Greedy Williams and Denzel Ward at the same time for 4 straight games.
Yeah, it looks like Morgan Burnett pulled something.
Every game. He's been the healthy one. And then Demarius
as he limps off the field.
Total of 4 games.
Man, that's messed up. He was having a hell of a game. He's having a hell of a game tonight.
Had to kind of patch it together. And they finally had gotten healthy and were starting to play like it. And now Morgan Burnett, who's had a heck of a first half.
He has an ankle injury.
Mike Pereira, that cost the Browns a timeout. Yes, it does. If you have
So that injury cost the Browns a timeout.
As a charge timeout. So they're down to 1. And time to save for the Steelers, who have all 3 of theirs in 1:26 left.
Okay, now 1st and 10 Pittsburgh. The ball is out. And the Steelers recover it.
Sheldon Richardson was trying to scoop and run.
Sheldon, don't scoop. Dive on the ball.
Knocked it out. But Richardson had a clear shot at it and missed it. They bring 4 weak. You can't pick it up. And so they're going to be hot. And
Just dive on the ball. Don't scoop it.
Mason Rudolph just not protecting the football. And that's his 4th fumble. He has yet to lose one, but that was one they should have lost. Sheldon Richardson's in a perfect position to just fall on it and give the ball back to Cleveland. Instead, he tries to scoop and run at 295 pounds, and that's not easy to do.
Okay, 2nd and 24. Had a sack and a fumble, but just couldn't recover.
Just come into the game for the injured Morgan Burnett is the one that knocked it out. Brings up 2nd and 24.
Okay, Rudolph. The Browns with the pressure.
Rudolph throws, pass incomplete.
And Rudolph throws an incomplete pass, so it's now it's 3rd and 24.
Rudolph had some room out in front of him to take it.
And that was good pressure by the Browns defense.
He's not much of a runner. I mean, he can move a little bit, but that's not his thing. And so once he's able to get out of the pocket, you see right there, he's got a lot of room in order to pick at least some yards up and then just cut it down the field.
Okay, the Browns definitely need to stop here.
They need a chunky yardage for Boswell, their kicker. If they don't get the first
Okay, pressure. And Chad Thomas with the sack on Mason Rudolph. So that definitely takes the Steelers out of field goal range.
I'll tell you what, these guys off the edge here, I mean, right here at Villanueva, you see what's happening.
That was great recovery by the Browns defense. That was an outstanding job by the defense of the Browns.
He oversets and they're not able to slow.
So the Steelers are out of field goal range and they have to punt.
Pretty good as well. So 4-man rush, and you'd have thought they brought 7 guys on that play. Browns use their final timeout.
Okay, the Browns use their final timeout of the half.
1 minute 4 remaining. Well, this defense has been good this year. They've been really good on 3rd down, and they've been good once again tonight. And then they've been good at getting pressure on the quarterback, and they've been outstanding in that area. And they just have not given up much of anything.
Okay, let's see what the Browns can do with 1:04 left in the half.
A little momentum with back-to-back completions, and then one back. Here's a perfect punt by Jordan Berry.
Wow. Takes a bounce at the 7.
And a 45-yarder.
on a 45-yard punt.
For the Toyota halftime. Michael Strahan and the guys live from Fox Square. Terry on the Steelers injuries. They've just ruled James Conner out for the rest of the game. Tony on Baker's big half. And he has certainly shown some flashes here tonight. Here the injuries, they are piling up for the Steelers. Well, I'll say those are good players that are out of the lineup. I bottom two, arguably their two biggest offensive threats, and Smith-Schuster and James Conner. Lost to Daney early.
Okay, Baker feeds it to Chubb, and Chubb gets about 4 or 5 yards.
And a gain of 4. Aaron, how about an injury update on the Cleveland side?
Yeah, we'll add one to the Browns.
With 38 seconds left.
Injury. They had him in the blue tent for a bit and took him back into the locker room. Let you know after the half if there's an update on him. But you said it, they're secondary. They've been through it with injuries.
I'm really surprised there, Joe, that Tomlin didn't call a timeout.
Okay, will the Browns run another play, or will they just kneel?
Decisions. They obviously are happy running this out. That good punt forced the hand of Cleveland. Remember, they took
Okay, to Chubb. Okay, they give it to Chubb another again for another 4 yards, and that's the end of the half.
That's it for the half.
As the Browns lead 14-0 at halftime.
As they try to win 2 straight and end a 4-game winning streak for Pittsburgh. 14-0. Stay tuned. The Toyota halftime is coming right up.
Want to stay up to date? Hey Siri, show me football schedules. Sunday at 9, Drew Brees shares a special message in his salute to service.
All right. First half, it was great effort by the Browns. You know, definitely great on both. Well, definitely great on defense, but pretty good on offense as well. You know, the offensive line did a pretty solid job of protecting Baker. You know, he had a clean pocket. Also, he, you know, found ways to elude the sack, a few sacks at times to get the ball down the field. But Freddie Kitchens is a little too pass happy, especially in the second quarter. So definitely got to get the run game going a little bit more in this second half. You know, just can't be all about the pass, even though Baker's been doing good so far in this half. But got to get the run game going with Nick Chubb. Excuse me. Definitely got to get the run game going a little bit more. For the first half, the Browns have 182 total yards, while the Steelers have 104. The Browns have 151 passing yards, while the Steelers have 78 passing yards. And rushing, the Browns have 31 rushing yards, while the Steelers have 26. So Browns definitely got to get the run game going a little bit more in this second half. The Steelers, you know, the Browns defense have definitely done a great job of confusing Mason Rudolph, you know, getting a lot of pressure on them. You know, even though they had some opportunities for a couple more sacks than the one they ended up getting, they're still getting pressure on them. They're forcing them to make, you know, bad decisions, make them indecisive. Also throwing off his timing as well. So what are y'all thoughts on the first half so far? Marquez Radcliffe, what's up, man? The Browns lead 14-0 at halftime. How you doing, Marquez? I hope all is well with you. Thanks for joining me, man. If this is your first time, welcome, but don't make it your last. Subscribe to the channel now. Click on the notification bell so that way you don't miss any new videos or upcoming live streams from me. Yeah, so also in the first half, you know, the Browns, they did a pretty good job on Juju Smith-Schuster before, unfortunately, he went out in this game. Man, I definitely hope he's all right. You know, he's not going to return to this game. Neither will Steelers running back James Conner. You know, I hope they're all right. I hope they have a full, you know, full recovery. sweating under these lights, yo. That was definitely messed up what happened to him. But Baker's been, Baker has definitely been solid, 100+ yards, 1 rushing TD, 1 passing TD, no picks. Knocking on wood. Man, I wish he would have had that. I wish OBJ would have had that touchdown, though. I felt for him. He deserved that. He definitely deserved a touchdown.
Nice time with his legs, and they can hit Kareem Hunt up the sideline. Watch this right here. Once again, in the pocket. See if you can watch this ball right down the middle.
And also in the first half, Baker has been buying a lot of time in the pocket.
Trying to thread the needle, but he dumps it off to his back and makes a play there. Then right here, look at the pump fake. Like Michael said, don't jump when you're on defense, but then drops that ball perfectly, which is a very tough pass to do. You were telling me that, Terry. Baker Mayfield playing outstanding so far.
He's throwing some great balls. On the other side of Pittsburgh, still has a lot of injuries. James Conner out with the shoulder injury, re-injured his shoulder. Juju Smith-Schuster out with a concussion. They have quite a few injuries in the first half.
It's great. So you got 3 players out for this game. You got James Conner and Juju Smith-Schuster, for the Steelers, and Morgan Burnett for the Browns. And Morgan Burnett was having a hell of a game against his former team, as he had a few tackles as well as a big interception late in the second quarter.
The running game non-existent.
Man, hope Morgan Burnett is all right as well.
Not much. It's going to be tough. Yeah,
definitely feel for him because he was having basically the game of his life here tonight.
You know what? He came back. Had a pretty good game for the Pittsburgh.
They showed the Turkey Jones hit on Terry Jones back in '76. Woo! Man. Dang, Turkey Jones body slammed the hell out of Terry Bradshaw. Man, he body slammed the mess out of Terry Bradshaw back in the day. You definitely can't do that stuff now in today's NFL. Not at all. Heck, you even get a finger on the quarterback now, they want to call roughing the passer. But yeah, it's been a pretty good first half by the Browns. Baker has played well. Also, the defense has played well. Such guys as Myles Garrett, Joe Schobert, Denzel Ward and Greedy Williams both have been solid. Morgan Burnett, before he got injured and left the game, was definitely doing pretty good against his old team. Had a big interception. And also the Browns defense has done a great job of getting the pressure on Mason Rudolph. Also, they've done a great job of confusing him as well. So that's definitely got to be key in the second half. To stop him and also bring home this win for the Browns.
Only 9 points last week at home, which is the first time in the history of Sean Payton and Drew Brees playing together, coaching together, that they scored less than 10 points. So it's going to be a fire.
But definitely, the Browns have to run it more in the second half. So got to get Chubb involved.
He's probably going to go out there and play some good balls. Definitely down in Tampa. Dallas is going up to play the Lions. Dallas #1 offense. Dallas coming off a game in which they should have won against Minnesota, at least in their words anyway. They go up to play.
Yep, definitely got to get Nick Chubb involved, here in the second half. Also, I want to see Kareem Hunt rush a little bit. I mean, he's had some pretty good some great catches here in this game, but I want to see, him rush the ball a little bit too. So that's definitely going to be key in the second half, for the Browns. Trying to establish the run a little bit more. They definitely got to get Chubb involved a little bit more. Okay, I'm seeing, y'all joining the live stream. Make sure you hit the like button. Also, what are your thoughts on the first half? Leave them here in the chat. Y'all excuse me, I'm about to get some more grub.
Let's go places.
You ready to talk some football? This is NFL Network, the place where football and culture collide. It's the collision of the GOATs in the MCs.
Tell me about the offensive side of the ball.
With the fashion, in the food, and then with the fans, the stands, and the 12th man. Matched up with the music.
It's a real big cultural moment, right?
And the movies.
I started watching the show years ago.
Mixed in with the X's and O's, and the oohs and ahs.
Are you kidding me?
It's the fantasy
You're away from Hopkins, but you can certainly take out of his
and the reality. It's the access
People are going to count us out every week.
and the attitude.
Say it to management or shut your mouth and put your money on the line.
It's the trash talk and the crazy talk. It's all here, all day, every day. Because there's no such thing as too much football.
As the NFL celebrates its 100th season, the league, players, and teams are rallying fans to exceed 100 million minutes of community service. And we're halfway there.
This is winning the Super Bowl for me. When you can relate to these kids and understand what they're going through.
Volunteer with us to reach the 100 million minutes mark, and let's leave a lasting impact in our communities.
I'm Charles Tillman. I'm Josh Jacobs. I gave my 100 minutes, so now it's your turn to give your 100.
Now it's your turn.
Learn how to make your minutes count at NFL.com/huddle-for-100.
We're now going to Chicago, where it looks like football weather this Sunday morning.
This just happened with Cleveland. This is NFL Game Day highlights. Let's get it going.
Because I talked to him.
There we go. We got you covered from morning to night. NFL Game Day, all day Sunday, only on NFL Network.
Rule 12, Section 2, Article 7. This prohibits the blindside block. Rule 6, Section 2, Article 1. This eliminates the wedge block. And this is Dr. Jeff Crampton, the expert whose research helps change rules. Through innovations in equipment, smarter preseason routines, and improvements to the rules of the game, the NFL's health and safety initiatives help to reduce injuries on kickoff by 26%. So players spend less time off the field and more time doing things like this.
7 hours of football start now. We are loaded with every touchdown down the sideline. With every game, unbelievable. Every Sunday afternoon. Guys for the pylon made it. Move the sticks. Hello. With some patience and some first touchdown. We were built for days like today.
Tonight's game is presented by Bud Light, reminding you to keep it dressed responsibly.
Can you even hear me now? Touchdown Cleveland.
That's a nice job by Mayfield.
Wide open is Landry for the touchdown.
Good half so far for the Browns. That was tonight's game flow, brought to you by Progressive. And now welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck. That's a Hall of Famer. His name's Troy Aikman, and just 104 yards of offense for the Steelers after a half of play. And I thought we saw some flashes of what this Cleveland offense really can be down the stretch. They've added Kareem Hunt. They had some receivers open down the field. There could be some fun things ahead for the Browns.
Yeah, I think so. I think that started really a couple weeks ago. They've started to play better here the previous two games, and then that has continued against a really good defensive team tonight. Their own defense, Cleveland's that is, has played exceptionally well. And then they've gotten some of the big plays that have been lacking from this offense. So really good first half of football, 30 more minutes to go.
Browns will start this second half with the ball up by 14. Week number 11 around the National Football League. Browns, and we may have time to get into it, may not. Have a really favorable schedule the rest of the way.
All right, good people, I'm back.
They may be in a position
Had to come back, had to go get some more spaghetti. This is some good spaghetti.
but their strength of schedule from here on is the easiest in the
Chubb is a pretty good back this year, like he destroyed New England.
Here's a good strong return by Xavier Thomas.
Only problem he had 2 fumbles in that New England game. Marquez. All right. Second half has started. And the Browns get it to start. Start the 27-yard line. Okay, start Chubb. Gets 3 yards.
Now we go to Aaron Andrews.
Well, an update from the Cleveland Browns on safety Morgan Burnett. He is out for the game with an Achilles injury. You guys mentioned it before.
Oh,
Their
wow.
secondary has definitely endured a ton
Morgan
of injuries.
Burnett's out for the rest of the game with an Achilles injury. Man,
Can't rely on these big plays.
dang, that's a shame.
Run the ball better. He said they need
He
to
was
run
having a
better
great
as well.
game,
They had
too.
problems maintaining those blocks in the first half.
2nd and 7 for the Browns. Okay, Chubb cuts back and gets the first down. It gets 10 yards on the play. But yeah, Marquez, Nick Chubb is one of the best running backs in the NFL. But I don't think he gets his just due, though.
Baker Mayfield's in good hands if they can get on a roll here. Pretty big year for Freddie Kitchens. You talk about he was a running back coach when the season began last year. Then he took over as offensive coordinator when Todd Haley was fired, and then he becomes the head coach. That was
Okay, give it to Chubb again, and he loses a yard.
behind the line of scrimmage. A lot to that. You know, when you think about it, had not called plays at any level prior.
Okay, I like the start here in the second half for the Browns. No, excuse me, he loses 3, 2nd and 13. They're definitely trying to try and focus on the run a little bit more with Chubb starting this second half.
Just the offensive coordinator, and I think that dynamic with Baker Mayfield, didn't come together as well. They've gotten back to it a little bit more. There's been an emphasis on them getting more time together throughout the week, like they did a year ago. Chubb's been busy here in this second half already. He's carried it each time, a gain of 2 this time.
Okay, Nick Chubb gets 2 yards, so it's 3rd and 11.
First third down faced by the Browns in the second half. Yeah, we'll see. It was big plays. I mean, the defense was able to do their job, and then offensively they got the big 40-yarder to Odell Beckham, and then they got another 40-yarder to Daryl Hodge, and the biggest part of it, unlike previous games, they were able to finish them off in the red zone, but they were not really able to get Nick Chubb going. Third down and 11.
Okay, 3rd and 11. Okay, the screen for Kareem Hunt, and he's brought down.
Immediately by Hayward.
It only gets about 2 yards, and the Browns have to punt.
So fourth down, and the guy who we've come in talking about, Minka Fitzpatrick.
But despite the fact that the Browns couldn't really extend the drive, I like the fact that they definitely focused on the run a little bit more. Feeding it to Nick Chubb on the first 2 possessions, even though he didn't get a bunch of yards, but it kind of killed, took some clock away. Okay, the Browns punt. And it takes a friendly bounce near the end zone, and there's a flag on the play.
Right at the end. Mike Pereira, what you have, Joe, is an illegal touch. The gunner at the top of the screen went out of bounds, came back in, and was the first to touch. And since he did it inside the 5-yard line, if they choose to do so, the Steelers can take a touchback and have the ball snapped from the 20.
Okay, Gilliam was out of bounds and came back.
I think that's a rather easy decision. Yes, Tavir Thomas is guilty of that infraction.
Oh,
Illegal touch, the kicking team. The 20 went out of bounds, came back in bounds, and was the first to touch the ball. Doesn't happen inside the 5-yard line. The ball is placed at the 20-yard line. First down, by Will.
Okay, so the Steelers will start at the 20 instead of near the end zone.
Out to the 20 it comes. Mason Rudolph in this Steelers offense tries to get it in gear.
Jets. They see everything we do. And they never say a thing.
Well, I feel better.
That's why Progressive covers
Right, so the Steelers get their first offensive possession of the second half.
keeping you and your secret keepers safe.
They've said a lot of things about Tony Harris. They said she was too slow, too weak.
And that wasn't on the punter. That was on
Get to the next level.
Tavir Thomas.
Yeah,
Tavir Thomas, excuse me. Not on the punter, Jamie Gilliam.
Big fan of assumptions.
and neither have we. Introducing the hybrid that will shatter perceptions. The built for speed RAV4 hybrid. Toyota, let's go places.
Can we just order a pizza?
Ready, Dad?
How'd you order so fast? So we should start shopping right now.
Can you guys play the same game? No, 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 no. How is this not bugging you? How did you find such a cool place to stay?
Okay, so we're going to see what the Steelers can do on their first offensive possession of the second half.
Article 7. This prohibits the blindside block. Rule 6, Section 2, Article 1. This eliminates the wedge block. And this is Dr. Jeff Crandall, the expert whose research helps change rules. Through innovations in equipment, smarter preseason routines, and improvements to the rules of the game, the NFL's health and safety initiatives help to reduce injuries on kickoff by 26%. So players spend less time off the field and more time doing things like this. This broadcast is copyrighted by NFL Productions for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this
Yeah, but the Browns gunner has to know that he has to stay in bounds.
Welcome back to First Energy Stadium and Thursday Night Football.
That
presented
cannot
by
happen.
Light Platinum. Aerial coverage tonight brought to you by State Farm. From the 20. Without James Conner, without Juju Smith-Schuster. Handoff is to Samuels.
Okay, they give the handoff to Samuels, and he loses about a yard.
This defensive front and these linebackers have really played.
So it's second and 10.
Look at what Pittsburgh has done, at least in that first half. Heavy pass. They only ran the ball 10 times, 23 passes, and that's different from what they've done since Mason Rudolph took over as quarterback. They've been running the ball a lot, about 50%. With Rudolph, they got to try to get back to it. There's a nice hole there. Samuels is going to get a first down.
Okay, and Samuels gets the first down.
Whether it was for James Conner when he was in the lineup or Jalen Samuels, but that was a nice job then after getting stuffed on first down to pick that up. Steelers hanging in there. As Edmonds comes in and Samuels checks out. James Washington.
Okay, Rudolph throws a pass to James Washington, and he drops it. Second down, second and 10.
90 yards, a touchdown.
in that win against the Rams. The first half possessions, not pretty with the end result. No, not very good. And the drops. James Washington just had 5 drops against the Rams. It didn't end up hurting them. They were able to make enough plays, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But in a game like this, every one of those matters. Pass is behind it.
Okay, and the Browns get an interception. And they have a short field. They definitely have to score here. With a short field.
Housing American Epic. You're welcome. It tells a stirring, inspirational story. Christian Bale and Matt Damon soar in one of the year's best films.
We're gonna make history.
Ford versus Ferrari.
Donald's an Italian, but he ain't happy.
Rated PG-13. See it tonight.
Whoa. Burger King is now on Uber Eats. You can buy one Whopper and get one Whopper when you order. Have your next ring come from the King. Buy one Whopper, get one Whopper when you order Burger King on Uber Eats. Delivered your way.
Not much here, except the usual.
What if we spice things up a bit? Alexa.
What if we turn it up a notch? What if we go off the map?
Toyota RAV4. Toyota, let's go.
And that was Joe Schobert with the interception.
NFL 100 all-time.
That was a good pick. That was a good pick by Joe Schobert. Good heads-up play by Schobert.
Best of the best.
I think Schobert has definitely been slept on.
The great Otto Graham, Browns quarterback from 1946 to 1955, went into the Pro Football Hall of Fame at 65 and a 3-time NFL champion at 50, 54, and 55. That, Troy Aikman, is when quarterbacks were tough. Hey, I don't want to slight Tom Brady.
Okay, and the Browns have it near the 50-yard line after the pick by Schobert.
He took him to 10 straight championship games, won 7 of them.
Browns definitely need a score on this drive.
He gets near the recognition that he deserves as one of the all-time great signal callers. Yeah, well, Brady just tweeted that he turned off Thursday Night Football. Mayfield gets sacked.
Wow. And TJ Watt gets the sack on Baker. With a loss of 4.
Well, they put Pharaoh Brown out here at tight end, 86, and he just, is blocking him and then goes out, but I'm not sure exactly, how do you expect to keep TJ Watt from being able to make
that was on Pharaoh Brown right there.
I don't know what that was, but it didn't work. It's the first sack of the night for the Steelers. Here's a handoff to Chubb over the right side.
Okay, you hand it off to Nick Chubb, and he gets about
first down. Hayden was almost the last line of defense out there. Game 7.
Gets 7.
Tough sledding for Chubb, but as you would expect.
So it's 3rd and 7. So now it's 3rd and manageable for the Browns on 3rd down.
Against the run in terms of yards per carry average, and Chubb, though, he's 2nd and long. What a nice luxury to have with a guy like him who can pick up that kind of yardage and at least get it to a manageable 3rd down.
Last out.
14 carries for Chubb, 49 yards. Mayfield throws, and it's incomplete. Mayfield and Landry not on the same page.
And Baker throws an incomplete pass to Jarvis Landry.
Instead, he took it high coming out of that.
And that was miscommunication. The Browns have to punt.
Quarterback, when he and Landry generally are on the same page, going back to their time together last year. And like I said earlier in this game, Landry is really a good route runner and quarterback friendly, in my opinion. He hasn't had the same amount of time with Odell Beckham because of the fact he just joined the team, that he didn't come to voluntary workouts. He was injured through part of camp. A lot of their time together has had to be in actual games, which is awfully hard to come by too.
Gillen punts. Jamie Gillen punts it. And Deontay Johnson with the fair catch at the, looks like the 7-yard line.
Good lunch.
Amazing.
Toyota, let's go places.
Hi. I'm reality. This must be a lot for you.
So the Browns couldn't get anything on the show after the Dover pick.
Real floating platform. No. And these things, well, kind of magical, actually.
Rated E for everyone.
Corona Hotline. It's only, I can't keep track of all these rule changes.
Well, there's one game day rule that will never change. Limes and Coronas.
And they'll probably change that one too?
No, they won't.
Oh, hey, I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding. I had you, didn't I?
Call now to find your game day beach.
Cats will do anything for the irresistible taste of Temptation's treats.
What are you doing?
Hey, check this out. Temptations. All it takes is a shake.
Dear Daniel. Dear Mary. Dear Jonathan.
Dear Scott, I wanted to send you a note thanking you for your service to our great country.
The bravery of servicemen and women like you is the reason that I'm able to step onto the football field on Sundays. Well, I heard that you're a fan of mine. I want you to know I'm a bigger fan of yours. Without brave men and women like yourself, there would be no football, no NFL, and of course, no game days. Thank you.
Tonight on NFL Network, 14 touchdowns, one exclusive. Packers running back Aaron Jones, our special guest, tonight on NFL Total Access.
Welcome back to Thursday Night Football, presented by Bud Light Platinum. A look at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame here in Cleveland, Ohio. Home of the Browns, and they lead 14-0 as the Steelers take over the ball. They're at 13.
Oh, they're at the 13. Okay, Mason Rudolph. Airs it out. Wow. The pass is broken up and the flag is on the play.
Deontay Johnson got a shot to the head.
They're going to get them for helmet to helmet.
It was good coverage the entire way, too. Greedy Williams, and then right there at the very end of that play,
that's on Demarius Randall.
That's not good. Demarius Randall with the helmet to helmet.
With the bad hit on Johnson.
Deontay Johnson, we've seen him down a couple times now tonight. Mike?
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 23, on defenseless receiver. 15 yards from the previous one, automatic first down.
And he is a defenseless receiver. Which
he's a defensive receiver.
You can't hit him in the head or neck area with your helmet, shoulder.
Yeah, that was a bad move by Randall.
After this, that goes on to New York as to whether it could be an ejection.
So he might. So it's a possibility that Demarius Randall could get ejected. Now, it's one thing you wrap the man up
Demarius Randall.
or push him out of bounds, push him,
Case, but that's about as clear cut as you'll see.
but you can't hit him.
The Baltimore Ravens are 7.
But you cannot hit the man. Marquez Baker's been solid so far. He's been pretty solid. He has 100+ yards, 1 rushing yard, 1 passing yard, no picks. Got to knock on wood there.
And one that he could have avoided. I'm not surprised.
Looks like Demarius Randall is ejected from the game.
Mike, what do you think?
Well, I mean, it certainly qualifies into that consideration because he did lower his head. It wasn't just a shoulder, for example, to the head area, but
Man.
You don't want to overreact and eject players, but we've seen what happened with some of these helmet hits already.
Man, that was a hit.
So you do want to do.
So yeah, Demarius Randall has been ejected from the game. He should have got the penalty, but I don't think he should have been ejected. That was a bad call on the ejection.
He's bleeding. Am I seeing that right?
Yeah, I don't bleeding.
But I do hope Johnson is all right though.
Coming down the right side of his face. It's just not.
Wow.
It's not
Man, that's ugly.
See in our game,
but I hope Johnson's all right.
Demarius Randall. It's hard on those defensive backs. I do know that. You come over and it's just.
I don't think he should have been ejected though.
Dislodge the ball and all
But
that.
I've seen players.
They're in a very tough position, but the rule's the rule, and he's going in now. He's ejected, and they're already without their other starter, Morgan Burnett, who got injured in the first half. On first down, Rudolph throws, and the pass is caught.
Came to get the Browns for another penalty. Or the Browns defense for another penalty, excuse me. And that's on Larry Ogunjobi.
Let's see where it was right there, and we just missed it. But this time Mason Rudolph is right here. This time Mason Rudolph, he has some time in the pocket, and he delivers a good ball then to James Washington. That's perfect ball placement. Sheldrick Redwine is now in at safety. 4th-round pick out of Miami.
Okay, 1st and 10 Steelers.
His first taste of defensive action as he takes over. The Browns without Morgan Burnett. Eric Murray is not active in this game with a knee injury.
They do a run play, and they only get 3 yards. It's 2nd and 7. Now the rookie Sheldrick Redwine replaces Demarius Randall, who's been ejected due to the helmet-to-helmet hit on Johnson just a few moments ago.
Early in the second half without the 2 starting safeties. Pass is caught by McDonald.
Okay, the pass is caught by McDonald for about 5 or 6 yards.
They're going to mark him a yard short of a first down.
Yard short.
Decisive throws by Mason Rudolph. The last 2, he's delivered the ball decisively and on the money.
Yep, so what do y'all think about that Demarius Randall hit? Do you think he should have been ejected? Or he should have still stayed in the game? And just got the penalty called against him. I think he still should have stayed in the game. I don't think he should have been ejected. He deserved the penalty, but he shouldn't have been ejected.
For 7 on third down, the pass behind McDonald.
Wow, the pass is behind, and there's another flag.
The pocket collapsing again on Rudolph.
That's a weak. Now that's a weak call right there.
But it looked like they might have gotten Burris against Vance McDonald.
Illegal contact. Defense.
Illegal contact.
We talked to Mike Tomlin about his Steelers team. He said the one area that he doesn't worry about is the offensive line. The offensive line has not been able to hold up here tonight against this pressure. And there's what drew the flag. No, they've not held up. They have not played well. And I think it's been more product of this defensive front. But there's 3 Pro Bowlers up there on that offensive line for the Steelers, and they haven't played like it tonight. Here's one downfield and broken up, but not turned.
Wow.
Greedy Williams on Johnny Holton. And they throw the flag.
And they throw the flag on Greedy Williams.
The Browns defense. Yeah.
Okay, y'all excuse me. I gotta take this call. Hello? Okay, y'all excuse me, good people. Okay, the Steelers score a touchdown. Now it's 14-7. So now it's a possession game. Thanks to those defensive calls. So, right, good people, I gotta step out for a minute. So I'll be right back. So it's 14-7 Browns. All right. Woo. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. I'm back.
Hey, your signed president.
Thanks, Dad.
Toyota, let's go places.
This Thursday night, Colts are coming to H-Town. You're in for a showdown. You know who breaks wild Colts? Texans.
The steel curtain, one of the most dominant defensive lines in NFL history.
Right, 14-7 Browns as the Browns get the ball back.
L.C. Greenwood, Ernie Holmes, Dwight Mad Dog White, four-time Super Bowl champion. What a legacy in Pittsburgh. And now the Steelers are on the board, down by 7. Kicks returned by Thomas.
Okay, nice return by Thomas. Out at the 35-yard line.
WWE is underway Friday nights on Fox. Each and every week, catch all the superstars, all the action. It's Friday Night SmackDown live this week from Philadelphia, only on Fox.
It is pretty remarkable. You look back on some of those guys who have put on the Steelers uniform, especially the linebackers, all the great linebackers that have played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think back to when we played them in Super Bowl 30. And Kevin Green and Levon Kirkland and Greg Lloyd. Of course, the guy I always liked to play when I was young was Jack Lambert.
Here's Mayfield. Somehow got rid of it. The pass is incomplete.
Okay, Mayfield got rid of it, but the pass was incomplete.
Talking to Roger Staubach about the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they met a couple times, no Super Bowls. And Jack Lambert wasn't the biggest guy, but he was sure intimidating. And it was it's interesting hearing Roger Staubach's take on what he meant to that defense, and he would intimidate a lot of guys out there on the field.
The rest was the good.
Fired up. Hey, got the Baker
Some good
Mayfield
spaghetti.
last throw.
2nd and 10 for the Browns.
It's Kareem Hunt.
Okay, they give it to Kareem Hunt. He gets about 4 or 5 yards.
A gain of 5. Ryan Shazier is the winner of the 2019
Okay, 2nd and
George Hallis Award.
no 3rd and 5. Excuse me.
Riders by the Pro Football Writers of America.
And that's good to see Ryan Shazier healthy again.
It has overcome
Too
adversity.
bad his career was cut short.
Ryan suffered his final injury against the Bengals December 4th, 2017.
Man, too bad his career was cut short. He was on his way. 3rd and 5 for the Browns. Baker throws and Kareem Hunt catches it for a first down, but there's a flag on the play.
We'll search for this penalty, but what a nice route by Kareem Hunt out of the backfield.
Holding defense in the 28.
Okay, called it on the Steelers defense.
That's Mike Hilton, who coming off a big game on Sunday against the Rams. There's contact. You can see it in the left of the screen, but an outstanding job. You get a guy like Kareem Hunt, like you were talking about earlier, Joe, one of the really great dual threats is a runner and receiver, and he gives Freddie Kitchens a lot of options.
Here's Chubb now.
Okay, Chubb pounds it for about a good 6 yards.
In this game, 3 for first down.
It's when none of these lights, y'all.
Development with more time with Chubb and this man Hunt.
2nd and 4.
That 8-game suspension.
2nd and 4 for the Browns.
Personal conduct policy for a physical altercation he had with a woman in downtown Cleveland in February of 2019. Chiefs cut him at the end of last November
It had been just under a year since he played when he came back last week. Here he is over the right side.
Okay, Kareem Hunt runs to the right for a first down. He gets 5.
He drafted Kareem Hunt. He was the general manager for the Kansas City Chiefs. So a guy who he liked when he drafted him and wanted to give him another opportunity. And like I said, he had not played in a year until Sunday, and he was just happy to be out there playing. I mean, he had missed the game, and of course, he did a lot of things, and there was a lot of talk about how much blocking he did. I don't think that's going to be a major part of their offense by any means, but as a way to get him acclimated, he's doing a few more things today. They used him a lot on Sunday, and it changes their personnel and what they're able to do in a very positive way.
Okay, the Browns have to burn the timeout
Browns take a timeout.
because the play clock was running down.
First down when we resume, and we'll be right back after this from Hulu.
30-second timeout.
Hulu has that fourth. Hulu.
Gotta get points on this drive.
Saying that in the game is going to get you fun.
Trust me, it'll be worth it.
Yeah, Hulu's paying you.
What's in it for us? Y'all go along with this, and you're all getting jet skis. Jet skis? For real? What color? Any color you want. It's camo color? If you want it to be. Well, I mean, y'all looking for jet skis. Hulu has live sports.
First down. The ball at the Pittsburgh 47. Hey, go, 9-8. Chubb cuts back.
Okay, Chubb cuts back for about 3-4 yards. Okay, gain of 4, so it's 2nd and 6.
More on these running backs with the Browns. Good to hear.
Well, Freddie Kitchens had told us this week that his running back room, he's very excited about, obviously, but more so because they're so unselfish and all they want to do is win football. Baker Mayfield telling me this is going to be such an explosive package for us. They just need to go out there and do their job. I love what Sheldon Richardson said. It's going to be a problem for defenses. He said, believe me, I was sore in training camp for a reason.
There's Chubb.
Okay, they give it to Chubb again. And he gets hit back to the line of scrimmage. So it's 3rd and 6.
As the Browns try to continue this drive, they're outside field goal range. Steelers looking for a stop. This has been a good drive, nevertheless. This drive started on the 26-yard line for them to be able to string some first downs together and get the ball beyond midfield. And you wonder how this team's going to respond as they move through the stretch and into the fourth quarter. A team that hasn't beat Pittsburgh in 5 years.
Okay, Baker's in the pocket, lose the sack, throws it, and throws it to Jarvis Landry for a first down.
Such a good job by Jarvis Landry. They're doubling him.
That was a good job by Landry to come back.
Of course, keeps the play alive. But Landry, once he comes back, he's going to get to the top of the route, and he threatens the defense, gets them running. Once you get DBs running, they're beat. And then it's just a matter of coming right back down the stem. He gives Mayfield a good place to go with the football down the sideline. That's an excellent job. That's an example of those two guys and kind of the chemistry that they've been able to develop. 530 catches now. Most of the first 6 seasons. That mark belongs to Jarvis Landry.
Okay,
As this carry by Chubb.
Nick Chubb gains nothing, so it's just 2nd and 10. First, I thought he was knocked back for a yard, but turns out they just stuffed him at the line of scrimmage. All right, I'm seeing people join the live stream. Make sure you hit the like button. Also, I want to see your thoughts on this game so far.
Well, they just brought T.J. Watt in off the sidelines on 2nd and long, and so they better have an answer for that guy to start.
Definitely better have an answer for Watt. Okay, throws it downfield, and there's a flag on the play, and it looks like it's on the Steelers.
massive.
Well, no, he's saying it's offensive pass interference.
Yeah, with you see the left hand, I think it could have maybe gone either way. And this, you'll see that Harris has a grab there.
Wow, so they called a double offensive pass interference.
Really initiated it first by grabbing and pulling the defender into him. I think I would have rather have seen that as just offensive pass interference because I think really it was created by the offensive player.
Yeah, it's a good point, Mike, that Hilton's response was to Demetrius Harris grabbing his jersey and yanking on him.
Rarely I've ever seen a double pass interference called.
And that's easy to say in slow motion, too. Back to 2nd and 10. Mayfield chased by Watt. Incomplete. So now 4th down and 10. And they will bring the rookie Seibert on.
K. Baker throws a TD to OBJ, but pass was incomplete. Seibert comes on to try a field goal.
And he's going to the corner. When you haven't spent just a ton of time with someone, you don't always know exactly what angle they're coming out, and they just were not in unison on that one. This would be career long, and this rookie
Wow.
pushed wide to the right.
And he pushed wide right.
That's his first attempt at 50 plus, and it was wide to the right, and now the Steelers down.
And that was a 50-yarder.
At their own 40. 4th quarter coming up next.
After the game, see which stars stop by the set. Then we'll break down all the biggest highlights and key moments from the game. That was huge. It turned everything.
Touchdown.
The Mercedes-Benz post-game show.
Yep, Baker had OBJ, but they weren't on the same page.
We welcome you to NFL Total Access.
It's one of the best things about the National Football League.
Breaking news into NFL Network. Jalen Ramsey has been traded.
There's always a fresh piece of news.
One of the most shocking retirements in sports history.
Always something to find out.
The passes in the past is definitely sharp.
Always something to talk about.
I can't wait till we really take the next step as a team.
Zeke got everything he wanted.
Reporting from every city, on every team, every weeknight.
I expect this office to explode.
On every story, defining the game.
This is the guy you've been wanting in your defense.
His catch percentage is insane.
For the touchdown.
As it unfolds right in front of our eyes.
There's no place like Baltimore. Follow my guy, James Jones.
All right, so go to the 4th quarter. It's 14-7 Browns.
So go and spread the news that we came for the jet when you come here.
Thursday Night Football presented by Bud Light Platinum. Downtown Cleveland, Ohio, and this has become a lot more interesting with a quarter to go. Best starting field position for the Steelers at their own 40. Down by 7. Rudolph protected, pass is caught. Washington.
And Rudolph throws a big pass to Nate Washington
41 and a completion of 19 yards.
for a 19-yard pass.
James Washington, and you can see what Mason Rudolph can do when he has time in the pocket. He hasn't had many opportunities to just throw the ball.
And Rudolph had mad time in the pocket.
You know, you get the miss. Well, a field goal by Austin Seibert, and not only do you lose 3 points, but you set the Steelers up with great field position. Seibert had come into this game 16
I agree with Troy Aikman.
No attempts, 50 or more. And he's 0 for 2 in this game. He's missed from 45 and 50. Rudolph downfield, pass is incomplete. Holton the target.
Okay, the pass was incomplete to Holton. No flag.
Neither one of those missed field goals was close. I'm not so sure even the 50-yard attempt would have made it. I don't even know that he'd had enough leg. It's like a bit of a hook there on the arm by Greedy Williams on Johnny Holton, but no call. Yeah, and that's been the best play for the Steelers offensively, has been defensive penalties. Second down to 10. Handoff here is to Edmonds.
Okay, they handed to Edmonds, and he gets about 9 yards.
Good block by Ramon Foster, who had missed the last 2 games out with a concussion. It is something with Mason Rudolph as a second-year player, making his 7th start, and what he has to work with. He's without, again, his top running back. He's only got 3 healthy receivers, one of whom, Tevin Jones, is his first regular season football game to ever play in. 5th time for the Steelers with a 3rd and 1. It's a long. And the pass is incomplete.
Wow.
It's Williams and Holton yet again.
Wow.
The refs are getting tired
They
of
threw.
flags because it looked to me.
Wow, Mason Rudolph throws a heck of a pass to Holton, but he drops it in the end zone.
Offensively, Johnny Holton did a little grabbing himself. But I did think in real time they were going to get Greedy Williams again. It looked like it to me, but then
And the Steelers may go for it
They were hand fighting going down
on 4th and 1.
back to the ball. I think that's a great no call.
So now it's 4th down and 1. Steelers went deep on 3rd and 1, knowing they were going to go for it if they didn't complete it. And a timeout taken by Pittsburgh.
Okay, and they call a timeout.
Tonight, after the postgame show, Packers running back Aaron Jones stops by to talk about Green Bay's 8-2 start and preview next Sunday night showdown with San Francisco. NFL Total Access tonight after the postgame only on NFL Network. We'll shine the spotlight on some games coming up this weekend. Dak Prescott and the Cowboys coming off that loss to the Vikings take on the Lions. That's on Fox. Tom Brady and the Patriots against the Eagles. A good one on CBS late. Jared Goff, the Rams hosting the Bears on Sunday night. And Patrick Mahomes, the Chargers and Chiefs from Mexico City on Monday Night Football. Some good games when you look at the Cowboys and Lions and then Eagles and Patriots. In what looks to be a 2-team race in the NFC East.
Right, so 4th and 1, the Steelers are going for it.
Rudolph throws nearly a pick.
Good pressure on the Browns. Almost got an interception, but they take over on down.
Big pressure by Joe Schobert.
And Joe Schobert with the pressure.
And Mason Rudolph almost threw it right into the gut of Chad Thomas. So the Browns have it now, up 7.
Almost had a pick. Just couldn't bring it down.
T-Mobile's newest, most powerful.
Just couldn't haul it in.
Experience it with the amazing new iPhone 11. And right now, T-Mobile has the best deal on iPhone. Get 4 lines of unlimited with 4 iPhone 11s included for only $35 a line. All on a signal that goes farther than ever before. That's right. Get 4 unlimited lines, 4 iPhone 11s for $35 a line. Only at T-Mobile.
For all the seasons greeters, for all the Thanksgivers, for the gingerbread architects and the midnight snack.
Okay, so now the Browns will take over on downs on their first offensive possession of the fourth quarter.
Whatever you give, however you gather, we're thinking of you. This is the Google Home Mini. It plays all new stories from Disney's Frozen 2.
Does that mean I'm part of your family?
No. You just kind of live in our house with us. So maybe yes. Okay, let's say yes.
So what's the deal with the app?
So the safer you drive, the more money you save.
Well, bad news, State Farm, because Aaron doesn't know how to play it safe.
Okay, the defense got the stop. Now it's time for the offense to help
Don't
out.
mess with my discount. What are my other options?
Get a discount up to 30% with Drive Safe and Save from State Farm.
Let's play. Mirrored in the calendar, weave a glorious web of deceit. I can see you'll get into trouble. A silly movie. The sounds good.
You're becoming a very good liar.
The Good Liar. Rated R.
Welcome to a journey revealing the NFL 100 all-time team.
He's up for the race!
100 unbelievable players.
Galloping Gale.
He's got to be on that board. He's got to be.
The best of the best.
Mason Rudolph over on the bench. Randy Fichtner. Defensive coordinator, quarterback coach. Talking to him is Chuck. Tries the right side and a nice play on first down out to the 40.
Okay, Chubb gets about 7 yards.
From the field presented by Microsoft.
That was a nice run by Nick Chubb.
You know, TJ Watt has been relentless throughout this game, and for him, he's been a sack machine since last season when the defense actually made a switch between him and Bud Dupree. TJ telling me he's naturally a left side rusher. He can peek into the backfield. He can see the quarterback's hands, and he's already got his
Right, so second 3 for the Browns.
Against the left tackle, it's hard to argue that speed, but they need these two guys to be disruptive tonight to make a comeback.
No doubt about that.
Okay, Nick Chubb looks like
Chubb on the carry here.
gets about a yard.
And it's Williams and McCullers who come together on the stop no gain. So
Well, no gain, excuse me.
coming up, the Browns on their last 6 drives have gone punt, miss field goal, then the half, punt, miss field goal. A 7-point ball game, and like we talked about when he missed the first field goal with a 14-point lead, those become huge. And you look at how much of a struggle it's been for Pittsburgh offensively, a 2-possession game at this point in the fourth quarter would be huge.
Wow, Kareem Hunt gets blown up for a 4-yard loss.
Good at those outside linebacker spots, Dupree and Watt. And Bud Dupree made that play. It's 4th down. Yeah, he does the old lay here against Greg Robinson, the left tackle. He makes him miss.
No, lost for
there.
2 yards.
In order to
For
make
2
the
yards,
tackle.
excuse me.
A really nice job
My mistake.
on 2nd and 3rd down of forcing a punt.
And the Browns have to punt.
And ends up being a 3-and-out after a 7-yard gain on 1st down. Yeah, and really great field position to start that drive after the missed field goal. Browns unable to do anything with it. The defense steps up. They've not been able to create the takeaway. Good punt by Gillen.
Okay, good punt by Gillen.
Sutton fields it just inside his 5. Can't get to the 15. 58-yard
Okay.
punt.
Fields gets to the 13, 14-yard line.
Steelers have it back. Still down 7.
I'm a tailgater tailgating to get to my tailgate. Now, it might not get me there any faster, but hey, it gets me ready for football. Let's tailgate. I can't go anywhere. But you're so busy watching me tailgate that you don't see the one in front of you. And your cut rate car insurance, they might not pay for this. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem. Like me.
Have you ever worked for
Okay,
Dr.
let's see.
Francis? Oh, yeah.
Now Mason Rudolph and the Steeler offense get the ball back.
Guess who just got reinstated? Well, not officially. Nervous?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. I'll see you in there.
Just okay is not okay. AT&T has America's best network, now with our best plans at our best prices, starting at $35 a line for 4 lines. New from AT&T.
What's the NFL's competitive edge? The Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed.
Can it help keep me asleep?
Yes, it senses your movements and automatically adjusts to keep you both comfortable.
So you can really promise sleep?
Not promise, prove. Sleep Number.
Okay, so what are y'all thoughts
Improving quality sleep from
on the second half so far? Definitely would like to see him in the chat.
$25 boneless wings at Applebee's. Get it?
9 Hall of Famers and the greatest coach in the history of the game. That was the best team that was ever put together.
We have a great opportunity here to do something no team has ever done.
The core of our football team was solid, it was trusted, it was tested, and it was championship.
One makes a circus pass to the end zone. How about that?
We found a way to win, and what we did had a big impact on football history.
First team in the history of the NFL to win it 3 times.
Sunday at 9, and Drew Brees shares a special message in his salute to service.
Us football players are forever indebted to you and your fellow servicemen and women.
Plus, we sit down with Zach and Julie Ertz. NFL Game Day morning, Sunday at 9, live on NFL Network.
Welcome back to Thursday Night Football, presented by Bud Light Platinum. Starting from their 12, down by 7.
Okay, the Steelers start at the 12-yard line. But I wasn't too far off. Here comes Rudolph.
Down the sideline for Holt. Throw leads him on bounds. With Denzel Ward in coverage.
Okay, Rudolph tries to throw a long pass to looks like Holton, but it's incomplete, a little over his head. As Denzel Ward was with him step for step. So 2nd and 10.
I can say that for a young player, it won't get a lot rougher than what tonight is, considering the issues the offensive line has had and then the injuries. I mean, he's playing with a short hand. Steelers have thrown it 35 times now, run it only 14 times. Tevin Jones.
Okay, Randolph throws it to Tevin Jones. He gets about 8 yards.
Had the chance on that first down play.
So it's 3rd and 2 for the Steelers.
The blitz, and so they isolated one-on-one, and Rudolph had time and just unable to connect. But they're going to have to hit 1 or 2 of those if they're going to have a chance in this game. Down and 2. Pass broken up.
Okay, Randolph throws a pass, and Mac Wilson, the rookie, breaks it up, and it's a quick 3 and out for the Steelers.
Mac Wilson, who's getting the opportunity to play, it's a nice job by him. I mean, good coverage the entire way.
That was definitely good coverage by Mac Wilson. So the Browns get the ball back. Excuse me.
Pick out of Alabama, who I like that pick. I mean, he's got some ability. He's made some nice plays already this year for him, and he can run sideline to sideline. They're relying on a few young players there in that defensive side of the ball. Barry punts it.
Okay, Barry punts it.
Hilliard stays away, and this takes Steeler bounce inside 30.
Okay. The ball bounces inside the 30. The Browns get the ball back.
Still up 7.
Need somebody.
Right, that was a good series by the Browns defense to force the Steelers into a punt.
Want to see something amazing? Olay Body Wash.
Yep. So now the Browns have to find a way to sustain this drive.
14 days. Better skin from a body wash? Better believe it. With Olay Body.
At Chipotle, we now have carne asada. But when you lay it on the grill, you get this aroma, chipotle pepper, cumin, fresh lime, and cilantro. When you take that first bite, it's lip smacking and mouth watering. It's so tender.
There's just something different to a Disney movie.
Verizon knows you love all things Disney.
I think we've watched every single movie at least twice, 4 times.
100 times.
That's why your unlimited plan now comes with Disney Plus on us for a year. Because the network more people rely on gives you more.
Our biggest SUV, the Palisade, and our smallest SUV. Remember, it's not the size of the dog in your adventure, but the size of the adventure in your dog. Big or small, it's better in a Hyundai SUV.
The champ is here! The champ is here!
You're at NFLSouth.com.
This Thursday night, Colts are coming to H-Town. Hold your horseshoes, buddy.
It's going to be an interesting matchup next Thursday with the Colts and the Texans.
Aren't you a basketball state anyways? We're a state of multiple athletic talents. Hey, Houston, you have a problem? Oh, no. You know who breaks wild Colts?
Texans. Colts, Texans. Next Thursday at 8.
It is Thursday Night Football presented by Bud Light Platinum. Fans here in Cleveland wondering if their Browns can go on a run. They beat Buffalo. They lead by 7 here.
Okay, Mayfield with the throw. Okay, and throws it to OBJ, and OBJ gets the first down.
We come into this ball game talking about both these teams and how important this game is, considering the expectations for the Cleveland Browns and the start that they got off to. And knowing that they haven't beaten the Steelers in 5 years, this becomes a game in a lot of ways. I think that gives fans hope, and that success is something that they can start to maybe count on and that it's in their future. And so this would be a huge win for this Cleveland team. Here's Chubb. First down.
Okay, they give the Chubb on, gets 3 yards.
Talked about it earlier that as you look at the numbers, 0-7-1.
Okay, Chubb gets about 4. Gets 4 yards. So now it's 3rd and 3.
Before the game, and we were talking about some of the struggles this year, and like I told him, I reached the bottom. The point in my career where I was most down was midway through my 2nd season. The first year you come in, you go to a bad team, you don't really feel like you're responsible for why you're bad, and then you take ownership in year 2. And when you come out of the gate struggling, it's tough. And he's kind of hit that a couple of weeks ago. I think he's starting to now come out of it.
Okay, they give it to Kareem Hunt, and Hunt is dragging TJ Watt for a first down.
In visiting with him and where they're at and some of the progress that they've made over the last 2 weeks, some of the progress that he's made. He told us, hey, he hadn't played good enough. And he played good enough on Sunday when he had to at the end of that ball game, and he's played good enough tonight. Can this team do what they need to do here over the next 7.5 minutes to win this ball game?
Somebody on Twitter said TJ Watt better be careful before Hunt whips out his super kick. That's cool. Okay, first down. Mayfield gets out of trouble. Okay, threw it a little low to OBJ.
Powered by AWS. Talked a lot about Kareem Hunt his 2nd week
active with this Browns on offense, and here's where he's lined up tonight. Yeah, they move him around in a lot of different positions, and he creates some confusion for a defense, how he is going to be utilized, and then also how they're going to determine personnel defensively. We've seen Pittsburgh tonight, at times they've treated him as a receiver. They've gone to their 5 defensive backs. At other times they stay base personnel. But he creates matchup problems for any defense.
They fake it to him. Mayfield now throws it to him. And a loss on the play is the rookie Devin Bush.
Okay, they faking the Kareem Hunt, but then he moved. But then Devin Bush, the rookie from the team up north, knocks Hunt down back for a loss of 1.
To take Devin Bush is the number 10 pick in this last.
I'm an Ohio State fan. We don't say their name. You know, playing them in the next couple of weeks.
He's just scratching the surface on his potential, and they haven't used him.
They're TTUN right now. The team up north. Okay, 3rd and 11 for the Browns. Okay, the pass is high. And OBJ was the target.
Well, I don't know if that's because Baker Mayfield had people in his face, or if he just was unsure of where Odell Beckham was going to be. Right here, you see left guard Joe Bitonio. He gets pushed back, but
yeah, it looks like there were people in his face.
That should be an easy completion. Would have been a first down, and that's what they have to be able to iron out.
There's been a lot of that between Mayfield and Beckham here in their first year together.
Yeah, Baker definitely needs to make that throw.
Cameron Sutton lets it go over his head. And it's tapped down.
Okay, and the Browns tap it down at the 9. And Sione Takitaki with the touchback.
42-yard reception with the reaction by Odell Beckham.
Okay, 6.
And Tomlin kind of come together. That yawning, people believe, is in reference to Mike Tomlin over the offseason being asked about having to play Odell Beckham Jr. twice with individual play.
All right, let's see if the Browns defense can get another stop. Okay, here's Rudolph. And Joe Schobert with the pick. Oh, man, he almost, man, if he would have just cut a little bit to the left, he would have had that pick 6. Man, Joe Schobert has had one hell of a game tonight. Seems like he loves playing on Thursday Night Football because he definitely had a couple of big picks last year on Thursday Night Football against the Jets. So it's 1st and goal Browns, and they have an opportunity to put this game away, get some points on the board, finally.
He's able to then drop. He knows where they're vulnerable within that coverage. That's his area, and he gets right underneath it, and you're right.
But it all started with the Browns special teams by downing the ball near the end zone at the 9-yard line. So got to give credit to the special teams.
Just 9 takeaways all season.
If it wasn't for the special teams, then Schobert wouldn't have been able to make this pick. So now you got to score here.
This is what Pittsburgh has feasted on, and the Browns, they've made enough big plays on offense, and then more importantly, they've not turned it over.
This one to Beckham.
Oh man, OBJ almost had another touchdown, but he was out of bounds. Man, he just dang. Man, he deserved a better break than that. Man, that's 2 touchdowns OBJ should have gotten tonight, and he didn't get them. Man.
Yeah, that was a run pass option. He took the shot. A field goal right here seems like it might be insurmountable. 2nd down and goal.
Okay, 2nd and goal. Okay, Nick Chubb loses yards.
So now 3rd down and goal.
you know, I know people all want to put the blame all on Freddie Kitchens for, you know, the Browns not being able to run in the end zone. But it's not 100% his fault. That also has to, the offensive line also has to take responsibility as well for their blocking. Because they should definitely block better for somebody like Nick Chubb. So I don't put it all on Freddie. Okay, Mayfield lose pressure. Wow. Wow. Wow, Baker lose pressure and gets it to the rookie Carlson for the touchdown. And now it's 20-7 Browns with 5:25 left.
The rookie from Princeton gets his first catch and his first points.
Who would have thought that Carlson would be the receiver to get targeted? And Barron, he basically pulls the theft on Barron. Because it looks like Barron was about to get a pick in the end zone, but Carlson comes in and does the rock and pulls off the robbery and gets the touchdown. Okay, Cyber with the extra point. So now it's 21-7 Browns. Thanks to the setup all set up by the special teams and then the pick by Joe Schobert. You know, man, Stephen Carlson pulled the heist on Barron.
To go up over Mark Barron and make the catch for the touchdown.
Excuse me.
They've got the tight ends a little bit more involved, and you think about when they lost David Njoku, and you mentioned it earlier, Joe, how much production they lost with that, and they just have not really had much of a threat at that position since this season. Ricky Seals-Jones is the other guy who can really pressure a defense, but they were able to get Demetrius Harris. They went after him a few times tonight, and then, of course, the touchdown there to Carlson. He had no chance, but no choice pretty much. Mayfield put that right on his chest. It's a good point.
Okay. And now there's a touchback in the end zone.
New England is right now the number 1 seed.
Wow. The Browns can hold on to win this game. The Browns would have gotten wins against 2 teams that are currently in the wild card. Right now, the Bills and the Steelers are in the wild card. The Browns beat the beat the Bills Sunday. You know, on the late game winning touchdown drive by Baker Mayfield. Now the Browns are trying to win here against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that would be something that the Browns can get 2 wins against winning teams. Okay, Randolph throws to Samuels, and he gets about a good 7 or 8 yards. So 2nd and 3. So that would be so. And also the Browns have an easier schedule. So they do. So who knows? Maybe they can make a run. But they have to win all their games as Randolph scrambles for a first down and Brown is down on the play.
See exactly who that was, Joe. I believe it's Justin Burris.
And it looks like it's Justin Burris. But that would be a heck of a thing. The Browns get 2 wins in a row against winning teams with winning records. Okay, Justin Burris gets up and walks under his own power. So that's a good sight to see. So, you know, if the Browns can hold on to win this game, You know, they will win with, well, this will be their first time winning 2 in a row this season. Also, they would have gotten wins over 500 teams in Buffalo and the Steelers. And as I just mentioned, the Bills and the Steelers are the 2 top teams in the wild card right now. So, who knows? Anything can happen. If the Browns can win all their all their remaining games, and those teams can lose some, and it all comes down to a tiebreaker, guess what? Well, with the Bills, Browns will own the tiebreaker because they beat them. But wow, Ward almost had a pick. Now, anyway, back to what I was saying. Now they play the Steelers next week in Pittsburgh. If the Browns can win that game, then if it comes down to a tiebreaker by the end of the season, then the Browns will have the tiebreaker over the Steelers because they would have swept the season series. But if it comes down to a tie with Buffalo, Browns will own the tiebreaker because they beat them. But one game at a time. Okay, 3rd and 10. And that is delayed game on the Steelers. So that pushes back five yards.
Meanwhile, the Steelers and Mike Tomlin, as they've won 4 straight, after a 1-4 start, they're at Cincinnati, then that date with the Browns, at the Cardinals, Bills, Jets, and they finish.
I know it wasn't a pretty game, but hey, this is November football. A lot of games in November is not going to be pretty, especially when you're trying to come back and make a run. You got to win anyway, any way possible. Okay, Rudolph gets it to Johnny Holton for a first down.
As far as the Steelers go, they were 2 games back to the Ravens, but having lost to the Ravens already 2.5 games.
So this is going to be crazy that the Browns have beaten the Ravens and the Steelers in the same season.
With 6 to play, here's another down.
Wow. And Justin Burrs with the pick. Yeah, Randolph overthrew the tight end Vance McDonald. Wow, and after Burrs had just been injured on the field, he comes back and makes a big pick.
He just simply overshot it. It's a 4-pick night for Mason Rudolph.
Wow. And Mason Rudolph throws his 4th straight pick tonight. Man, unbelievable. Yeah. To me, Mason Rudolph, he's been okay, but let's keep it real. Last couple of weeks, this winning streak the Steelers been on hasn't been because of him. It's really been because of that defense. And, that's been led by Micah Fitzpatrick, who's definitely been a non-factor here in this game tonight. But that's who really got the 4-game winning streak going is the defense, not their offense. Their offense has not been too much to be desired. All right, so let me know what's your thoughts here on this game. What do you think about the Steelers? Do y'all think they need to, go to replace Mason Rudolph with, say, Colin Kaepernick? Or you think they should still stay the course? Because in my opinion, looking at some of those games, I think they won in spite of Mason Rudolph, not because of him. Y'all excuse me for a second. I'm a little thirsty.
Jaguar makes a compact SUV. For special offers, check out the Unwrap a Jaguar sales event going on now at your Jaguar retailers.
Are you going out tonight? No. But you're drinking Bud Light Platinum.
Let's go quickly.
Bud Light Platinum.
Did you ditch it?
Oh, yeah. He doesn't have a clue.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Bud Light Platinum, brewed for the night.
Remember that degree you got in taxation? Of course you don't, because you didn't. Your job isn't doing hard work. It's making them do hard work and getting paid for it.
Snap and sort your expenses to save over $4,600 at tax time. QuickBooks, backing you.
Right now at KFC, pick any two of these favorites for only $6. This Tasty Bear, $6. This Tasty Bear, $6. $11.95 for these. I'm just mashing your taters. $6. Mix and match any two for only $6 at KFC.
Are the Browns fans having any fun tonight? Well, I'll say it. You know, we come here on Thursday nights and they come expecting a party. They played well the last 2 Thursday nights we've done. Browns have their first 4 interception game in over 7 years. They had 4 interceptions this season coming into tonight. As Chubb carries, McCullers makes the stop, a gain of 2. It really, I mean, assuming they hold on here, every indication is that they're going to, but, you know, hats off to Steve Wilkes and the defense and the job that they have done. The defense in front, you know, we said coming in, it's a talented group and probably had not played up to the level that they're capable of. They sure did tonight against, you know, a good offensive line, too. Dominated the trenches, and then on the back end, they were all over the place, just smothering Pittsburgh's offense. Chubb cuts back.
Right.
Teams in games that you look back on, and you say those were games that really you kind of turned the corner, and that started, you know, the winning tradition. And
all right, as Chubb reaches 1,000 yards for this season.
If they hang on and do it for all the reasons that we talked about, it's been such a long.
He should have, in my opinion, he should have had 1,000 yards last year.
And this only enhances those feelings.
Can he run with Chubb again and gets about a good 6-7 yards?
Meanwhile, he's on an extremely short list. Browns with 1,000 plus rush yards in their first 10 games all time.
Hey, he's the first Browns running back since the great Jim Brown to have 1,000 yards in their first 10 games. So shout out to Nick Chubb as they show Jim Brown up in the excuse me, up in the press box tonight.
Back in 2010.
And he's the first Browns running back since Peyton Hillis to go 1,000 yards.
A long way to go.
As Peyton Hillis did back in 2010, excuse me. Okay, now we're at the 2-minute warning. As the Browns are trying to put this game on ice. It may not have been a pretty game, but this was definitely a gritty game. This was a classic gritty AFC North matchup.
Yeah, they've made enough plays, and it's really been more by the defense. But, you know, the thing that has been really good is they've just not made the big critical mistake that gets you beat. And so that's been positive. And then I think when you talk about Nick Chubb and his impact on this team, and he's gotten it going here the last several games running the football. He's closing in here on 100 yards.
All right, they get it to Kareem Hunt. He's knocked down. He's knocked back for about 1 yard or 2. The Steelers take a timeout. It's 35 Browns.
Coming up this Sunday on Fox. Already talked about the Lions and the Cowboys. Obviously a big one for both of those two teams. Jets and Redskins.
All right.
Panthers, Saints, and Bucks.
Like I said, this wasn't a pretty win, but this was a good win by the Browns. Even though it may not look pretty on offense, you know, they did enough to score enough points. Also, they did a solid job on the run game. Wish they would have featured it a little bit more.
Congratulations to them.
Okay, 3rd and 5.
3rd down and 5. This is Hunt.
They give it to Kareem Hunt,
On the play,
and he got stuck by loss of 2 yards.
With 1:47 left.
So the Browns will punt.
Seattle gets to get that win and enjoy their bye week.
And that was a heck of a win by Seattle. To go up in San Fran to beat the 49ers.
Philadelphia will head into the weekend both 5-4. Dallas at Detroit. Philadelphia hosting the Patriots. That game late on CBS. So we talked about Baltimore and their stranglehold in the AFC North. And Lamar Jackson, we get that.
Oh, wow. Nick Chubb becomes the first player this season also to hit for 1,000 rushing yards.
He's been able to. A couple games already this year with a perfect quarterback rating. He stuffed up Jackson. No.
Yeah, and he didn't have it against the Browns in his own house.
Trying to get the Steelers to jump, and they don't.
But that's another discussion for another time on Lamar Jackson. So, yep, this is the first time in a long time. This will be the first time in a long time that the Browns beat the Ravens and the Steelers in the same season. But the Browns got one more with the Ravens and the Steelers. Browns got to go to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh next week. Then next month, the Ravens come to the land. And who knows what implications that game may have by the time these two teams meet up again. It's going to be interesting to see. Baker and Lamar go at it once again. Kate Gillen with the punt. Kate Sutton with the fair catch. Steelers going to try to put together a quick drive. They're going to go into the 2-minute offense to try to get down the field. So the Browns definitely got to be on their P's and Q's on defense.
Will likely be his last possession. These two quarterbacks that were battling tonight played a couple of times in college. Baker Mayfield and the Sooners went 2-0 against Oklahoma State and Mason Rudolph. And he's about to get them here in the NFL. Shoulder fake and the pass caught by Samuels.
Okay. Randolph throws to Samuels, and he gets about a good 9 yards.
Good experience for Mason Rudolph, and we haven't talked.
Rudolph, my mistake.
Fitzpatrick in that trade, but what made it even a bigger trade, in my opinion, one giving up a first-round pick, but like you mentioned, it was made after Ben Roethlisberger was.
Well, no, Samuels does get the first down. My mistake. Okay, first down, Steelers.
Does he come back, and could they have kept that pick?
Steelers snappy. K and Rudolph gets it off just in time and gets it to Edmonds.
Dropped by TJ Carey after gain of 6.
And Edmonds gets 6.
I know it's been a 4-interception night for Mason Rudolph, but man, he's had people in his face.
Wow, TJ Carey almost had a sack. He would have been a step quicker. He probably would have got it, and Rudolph wouldn't have got it off in time.
Hey, it's hard. It's a hard position, and I mean, he didn't have much of a chance in this game.
Okay, Rudolph moves the pocket and throws it to Edmonds, and Edmonds gets the first down.
16 left. Forced out by Schobert.
As Joe Schobert forces him out.
A long of injuries tonight for the Steelers, including 3 concussions and 3 playmakers
wow.
on their offense.
Okay.
Rudolph
And Larry Ogunjobi with the sack. About a loss of 4.
And a loss of 10.
No, loss of 10. Wow. So it's 2nd and 20 for the Steelers.
Offensive line and a couple veteran guys who you'd expect to be able to take care of that twist up front better than they have.
Brings up 2nd down and 20. Blitz coming. Down goes Rudolph.
Wow. Rudolph is sacked again, and this time it's Joe Schobert. He's already had 2 picks tonight, and now he gets a big time, and now he gets a sack to ice the game.
He's got to make a decision. 2 guys to choose, and it really didn't much matter.
Wow.
Guy was going to be there in the face of Mason Rudolph.
So it's 3rd and 29.
10 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions, 4 passes defensed, and now a sack. He'd be the AFC Defensive Player of the Week. You're giving it to him right now.
Okay.
There's a flag.
Wow, there's a flag on the play. Wow. It is a brawl down at First Energy. Oh, yeah. Pittsburgh. Oh, yeah. Some of them Steelers players are getting ejected. Man. Come on, y'all. We don't need to brawl at First Energy. Man, there's going to be a lot of ejections in this game. And some suspensions. Man, that looked like a WWE Hell in a Cell match. And I ain't watched wrestling in years. But that looked like a WWE Hell in a Cell match. Man. Just almost everybody bumping and banging on the field. Everybody wanted to bump and bang.
He tackled Rudolph. Rudolph didn't like the way that he was tackled.
Oh, man. Miles, man, you ain't got to do that, man. Took off his helmet. Oh, man.
Rips the helmet off Rudolph's head and then eventually swings it and hits him in the head. And then Ogunjobi comes up and hits Rudolph from behind.
Oh, wow.
Beyond words, Joe. Gosh, that's one of the
But Rudolph did start it, though.
professional sports field.
You know, Joe, I was involved with these in the league office, and it would come to officiating first and then go upstairs for discipline. But this is beyond the normal discipline. This is beyond the normal fine. I think you're absolutely right. It's a foul period to take a guy's helmet off and swing it and use it as a weapon. Automatic ejection by rule. But it goes
Wow.
now to possible suspension.
Man, oh, dang. Unbelievable.
They're absolutely. I mean, this is multiple game suspension right here.
Man.
I mean,
Oh.
I hate that anybody even has to watch this.
Wow.
This is barbaric, is what this is.
Wow. Unbelievable. In all my years of watching football, I ain't never seen nothing like this. Man, that looked like a that looked like a WWE match.
And they can now pick the players that should be disqualified from the game and even create fouls that aren't called. There were quite a few called, but they can look who was involved with the fight, who threw punches, who swung helmets, who kicked, and can add on, which means more discipline to come, either in fines or suspension.
8 seconds left in this game, and that's what everybody's walking away from this Thursday night game with. It's horrible, and these two teams meet again in 17 days. Just think what that's going to be like. You see Mike Tomlin say, Mason, you're out.
Man, a whole lot of players going to be hit. A whole lot of players on these teams are going to be suspended. Wow. Unbelievable. Man, unbelievable ending. Wow.
Garrett brings Mason Rudolph down.
Man. Wow.
Miles Garrett's helmet.
Man, that's a crazy ending to this game. This is a crazy ending to this game, boy.
I couldn't tell.
We have fouls against both teams. Personal foul, offense. It's going to be number 53. Personal foul, defense, number 65 and number 95. Those two players are disqualified. And the fouls will offset. They play fourth down.
So Myles Garrett, Larry Ogunjobi, they're out. So is Mason Rudolph.
As you said, I couldn't tell if Mason Rudolph's left hand was caught in the helmet somehow of Myles Garrett, and that's why he was trying to go to the headgear the way that he was. I don't know, but
wow.
It's been such a great game and a great win for this Cleveland franchise. Is not what anybody's going to be talking about after this game.
Wow. That's not good for anybody.
Here since October of 2014 against the Steelers, but talk about leaving with a horrible taste in your mouth. Thankfully, Rudolph's okay and able to stay in there. So,
okay, Rudolph didn't get ejected.
It's fourth down here, by the way.
Wow.
Rudolph stays in.
This is crazy.
And now Tony Brooks-James just takes a knee.
And that's the end of the game. Browns win 21-7. No, they turn over on downs. Browns still have to kneel to get in victory formation. Wow.
Players are on the field. Media's on the field.
What we have is we have to have another snap. It was fourth down. So he took a knee, and so we got to change the possession. So we now have to clear everybody off and take one more snap.
Looked like Freddie Kitchens was just saying, hey, just let it run, let's go, this game is over, but that's unfortunately not the way that it works. The Steelers, the offensive players are leaving.
Wow, I thought Bottlegate was something. Man.
Baker Mayfield in this game with a couple of touchdown passes, a touchdown run. The Browns with 4 interceptions in the ball game.
This is kind of outdoing Bottlegate right now.
The offense for Cleveland's now gone 3 straight games without a turnover.
But Miles was out of pocket for taking off Mason Rudolph's helmet.
1,000 yards for the game. Joe Schobert.
He was definitely out of pocket for that. But it's also the ref's fault for not getting control of the game. Refs definitely should have did a better job of getting control of the situation. So it's not just players, but the refs also did a horrible job of controlling it. No way they should have let it get out of control like that. But Miles is definitely gonna be suspended for some games. I don't know about Ogunjobi, but I definitely know that Myles Garrett's definitely getting suspended.
We'll come back with a post-game show after this on Thursday Night Football.
And definitely a couple of Steelers are going to get suspended. But I think Myles Garrett's definitely going to be hit.
Gina, bring it in. It's so good to see you. Thank you so much.
Wow.
It's great to see you. Absolutely.
That's one of the most craziest endings I've ever seen to a game. Well, to an end of a game.
I'll bring the games. Oh my goodness, I gotta stop entertaining.
K. Avant Campbell, teams always want to fight when they lose. The Steelers hoes for that. YouTube, I'm just reading what this person said. Those are not my words. Those are theirs.
It's going again.
But Avant, Miles did not have to grab Rudolph's helmet and try to hit him with it. That was uncalled for. He should have just brought him down to the ground for the sack and let it be over. But now he's going to definitely get hit with some heavy fines and a heavy suspension. And now that also messes with him in the future because refs are definitely going to try to mess with him, make him look like he's some type of menace on the field because he's going to have that reputation. Man, that was a bizarre ending to the game. But other than that, it was a gritty win for the Browns, despite the ending. But it was a gritty win for the Browns. They didn't play perfect offensively, but they did enough to score. The defense they were lights out. Morgan Burnett, before he got hurt, played a great game against his former team. Joe Schober was the man tonight. With a couple of picks and a sack and a few tackles. Myles Garrett was pretty solid. And also the Browns defense did a pretty good job of getting pressure on Rudolph. They forced him into 4 interceptions. They forced him to be indecisive with the ball. Also forced him into some incomplete passes. But man, that was a bizarre ending to the game. No way that should have happened like that. Not at all. No way that should have happened.
Welcome to a 6-week journey revealing the NFL 100 all-time team.
He's off to the races. Strikes it over the shoulder. Galloping Gale. Coming to the end zone.
100 unbelievable players that are going to be on this board.
As tough a football player as it was.
But also, Rudolph was wrong too for instigating it. So both of them were wrong. It's not just Miles here. Rudolph was wrong as well. I ain't going to absolve him now. Okay? Right is right, wrong is wrong. Miles was wrong for taking his helmet off and trying to hit him over the head with it. But Rudolph was also wrong for instigating the whole thing. That's why this whole thing started. So I say, if y'all gonna, don't just hit Garrett, get Rudolph too.
The Browns are now at 4-6. The Steelers' 4-game winning streak is over. They're 5-5. As week number 11 is underway. The big news is how this game just ended. And Aaron Andrews is with Baker Mayfield right now.
Baker, and I'm ask you about it. What was your reaction as you were watching it unfold?
But I'm curious to see what really, made Miles go off like that.
I don't care, rivalry or not. We can't do that. That's kind of the history.
That's why I want to know what happened.
On here lately, hurting yourself, and that's just endangering the other team. That's inexcusable. He knows that. I hope he does now. It's tough. We'll see.
Mason Rudolph, a friend of yours, Myles Garrett, a teammate of yours. What were you saying to your teammates over there to kind of calm everybody down?
Yep. So definitely want to know how the whole thing started between him and Rudolph.
You know what? The reality is he's
so
suspended.
Definitely want to definitely gonna find out about that soon. As soon as I find out what triggered the whole thing, I'll definitely do a video on that.
Do get the win tonight. I mean,
if say Rudolph started by calling Myles Garrett some racial slur, I'm not saying Rudolph did. But I'm saying if he did, then he's wrong for that.
You know, it came out and had a great first
You
drive.
know, just like Miles is wrong for taking off his helmet and trying to hit him with it.
We have to be able to capitalize
You know,
on defense gets that many-
and if it's proven that Rudolph instigated the whole thing, then he needs to be suspended as long as, you know, along with Miles.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You know, if it's proven that he started the whole thing.
Interview by
You
Baker
know?
Mayfield.
But wow,
We'll be back.
that was a bizarre ending to a great team win by the Browns. And you know, social media is buzzing right now. As I was looking on Twitter, you know, a lot of people feel that this win is tainted because of the way the game ended. But like I said, you know, I'm going to we'll definitely find out more about what went on tomorrow. And as soon as I find out, you know, how, excuse me, the whole story, I'll definitely do a video on that, giving my take. But, you know, once again, the Browns win 21-7 as they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. They beat them for the first time since 2014. Baker Mayfield was pretty solid. He had, well, excuse me, let me be sure. Okay, Baker Mayfield finished with 193 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, 2 passing touchdowns. Nick Chubb finished with 92 yards as he's the first player to go over 1,000 yards this season. Jarvis Landry had 43 yards and a touchdown. OBJ only had 60 yards. Kareem Hunt also had 46 yards receiving and only 12 yards rushing. Mason Rudolph had finished with 221 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions. He definitely had a bad night as far as playing. I think the ending he would just want to forget. But man, that's just a bizarre way to end a game. Man, unbelievable. Unbelievable, boy. So I'm definitely more curious to see how the whole thing between Rudolph and Myles Garrett popped off at the end of the game. You know, yes, Myles Garrett was wrong for taking Rudolph's helmet off and trying to hit him with it.
Quarterback Baker Mayfield in an interview. I
But
know he wants to be more of a leader.
you know, Rudolph, but
I think that was a pretty good
you
example.
know, if rumor had, well, they're saying that Rudolph instigated the whole thing, and if that's true, he's just as wrong as well. And both of them need to be held accountable.
Really, when it comes to a teammate, so yeah, he talked to us about it.
But
and,
wow,
he showed that
that's
in
just
the
a
interview.
bizarre way
And
to
he's
just
100%
end the
right in
game.
everything that he said.
Man, but I gotta get out of here, y'all. You know, gotta rest up. I thank y'all for joining me here tonight. You know, for all my subs that came on here, thank y'all for joining me. If this was your first time, don't make it your last. Subscribe to the channel. When you do, click on that notification bell so that way you don't miss any new videos or upcoming live streams from me. And I want you to come join me Sunday night for another live stream for dinner and Sunday night football, as I will be live streaming the Sunday night matchup between the Chicago Bears and LA Rams. That stream starts at 8 o'clock. So I look forward to seeing y'all. You know, if you want to, you can donate to the channel via Cash App or PayPal. My Cash App cash tag and my PayPal link is up there in the chat. So if you want to, you can donate. Any donation, I would greatly appreciate it. You would be helping me to grow this channel to make more content for y'all. But anyways, I'm out of here, y'all. It's a bizarre way to end this game, but the Browns get the 21-7 win over the Pittsburgh Steelers in this AFC North matchup. So, all I gotta say is what a bizarre ending. But until Sunday night, y'all have a good one. Love y'all to life. QC out.
outrageous scene here